I would force my son to read just because I don't want to. I want him to be the person that
You have a
is lost.
son?
Yes.
Yes, I
He's
have a son.
adorable.
And CB, he
Like,
was
oh my
so
goodness,
excited when I
I
said
thought
that
you're
we are doing the
15.
pod.
Jed! Oh!
She does look young, but yeah, she has a son, and he's adorable.
I was surprised. When I told you,
It's not
CB, I
a
cannot
kind of
talk about
illegal
something
that we're
forbidden.
doing
Oh, yeah,
right
right, right. All right, so I'm just gonna do my intro real quick. Actually, let's just dive in. Let's just do it. Welcome and thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show. I'm CB.
I'm Waka.
And there's also Jed. You haven't seen Jed in a while,
know.
and she like, as soon as I told Jed that we're gonna have a guest, this wonderful guest, she's like, I want to join in. Like, see your priorities.
Not because
Like,
of
look
that.
at your priorities.
I've been planning to join you guys.
Whatever,
For,
it's okay. We understand.
yeah, it's just that I cannot find the time to, be in your schedule. And I guess it was just the only time that I noticed that you were, planning on doing a pod. So, I mean, the other pods that you have taken, I wasn't really aware of it. So,
All right. Well, it's all right. It's okay. We understand. We know your priorities.
It's all good.
So, in this episode,
I just don't want you to.
in this episode,
Jed,
we're doing
because of him.
We're doing a Learn Filipino pod, and we have a special guest. You can see him right now on the screen.
Yes.
We showcase
Hey,
talents.
everyone.
We showcase talents. We showcased everybody. Like seriously, if it doesn't matter if you're famous or not, we just want to showcase your skills, your talents, your artistry, and all of that. So I saw our guest on TikTok, and he posts a lot of amazing, interesting stuff.
know.
And I went to in a rabbit trail.
So
of,
that's where you found.
Oh, that's where I found you for sure. So I found you on TikTok, and then I went to Instagram, and then I went to YouTube. I'm like, yo, this guy's amazing. We should have him in our podcast. So I,
Oh, come on.
so I
He is officially your stalker.
so I DM'd him. I messaged him. I said, hey, listen, you
Yeah.
want to do a podcast with us? Because I think you're really amazing and very interesting. And he messaged back and said, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, yo,
Why not?
come
right?
on. So please welcome Kuya
Why not?
EJ. What's up, Kuya EJ?
Hi everybody, kamusta kayong lahat? And I'm so happy to see Jed. I think she was in your videos 3 videos ago. I'm not so
3
sure.
videos?
No,
I
more
actually
like
stopped her channel.
more
Yeah,
like
I
3
kinda
months ago.
researched about yourself. Yeah, I think 3 videos ago. That was a long time. Actually, I was
He's more
binge
updated than
watching
I
your
am.
shows.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
I was binge watching it. I want to have an idea
Wow.
on what to talk about today. So
Yeah.
maybe
Come
that
on,
is a
man.
teacher in me.
Oh,
We're
Yes.
honored. That was
you could have
awesome.
met us sooner. Oh, the baby's there.
I know.
Hi, baby.
So
Another guest.
let me just start the question, and I asked all our guests. So we are not a big account, at least not yet. We're hoping to be a bigger account, so to expose and to showcase Filipino talents everywhere. We want the whole world to know that Filipinos is not just consist of thousands of islands, but we have amazing people. So, my question is, why did you say yes?
Well, actually, I was kind of honored to be asked. By the way, I have interviewed a number of people on my YouTube channel myself,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
the sad part is I have not been interviewed like never.
Okay. Okay.
So I said, oh my goodness. I mean, I have been asking questions to a lot of people, and I have not been asked about me, about myself. So why
Yeah.
not try it?
Right.
All right.
That's why I said yes.
Rather than
This is a
inter-
golden
entertaining
opportunity.
yourself.
Yeah, kasi I mean, in my YouTube channel, I was able to interview a lot of people as well, and I was asking myself, why is am I not that interesting enough for me to be interviewed as well? I mean, to be put on the spot, like so when CB messaged me, I said, oh, my goodness. Without
Finally.
having any second thoughts, I said yes.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
my chance. I'm taking this.
Yes. No,
Yes, this is
seriously.
my chance. Come on, because I don't give. I think CB knows this. Like in my TikTok and in my YouTube and in my Instagram, I don't give my opinions that much. But because I wasn't being asked about it, I don't want to give unsolicited opinions. And since we are right here, then I think this is my chance, right?
Right. No, seriously. And it blew me away when you said you're a professor in University of Santo Tomas, right?
Well, I would not call myself that because I
Okay.
think in the Philippines we have a very strict deal with nomenclatures. Like even though I teach in the university, being called a professor is something different. Like in the academe, they're crazy over labels. You know.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Like there are levels. Like for example,
Okay.
if you're new, you'll be an instructor, and then you'll be a assistant professor, and then associate professor, and full professor.
Interesting.
And it is being a professor is a very difficult feat to achieve, to be honest, in the Philippines. Like
I
you
didn't-
really have to be like a PhD holder and then published articles and books and like those things. But for a layman, I think everybody who teaches in a university is called professor. But inside our community, we are very strict in terms of labels. So I would not claim to be one because I would be
Interesting.
stepping on so many toes. I think so. No. I would like to be called as like a plain teacher for that matter. I would
Interesting.
prefer that.
No, I guess it makes sense.
I
Well,
like that you mentioned that, and it's true. We actually call anyone who teaches a professor. Like my prof
Yes.
told me to do this and that. Thank you.
But in the
Let's
Philippines, in the Philippines, if like for example, I'm with a true professor, and then a student would call me professor, I'm not really a full professor. Eyebrows would definitely raise.
right. Well, I
What?
guess because it came from the word, profession, like a professional.
Right.
So I guess that's where it's coming from. Like it's more like a title now instead of a person. You know what I mean? Or I guess a little bit of both. But it's not just simple word that you call someone. It's like, hey, you're this
You know
and
what,
that.
CV, for me, I couldn't care less about it. Like
Yeah.
it's just a label, as long as you're doing your job, and then But some people in the Philippines are like that. For example, somebody would want to be called doctor and then, like attorney or those things. I think that is part of our culture. We're crazy over labels in the Philippines.
No, I get that. Yeah, I totally do. Like, I met some people who they want to be recognized or called. If you want to say their whole name, you have to mention the PhD or whatever D they
Yeah.
have in the end of their names. Like you can't
D,
just
whatever D.
Yeah.
PhD, MD,
Right,
LPD,
MD.
The
Like
lower D.
you can't
like,
just
all of those things.
Right, you can't just say their plain name. You have to say the whole thing because they're like, "Well, I earned it." I mean, I get it, but if I'm calling you from like, I don't want to call you on the phone and say, "Hey, I'm
Like,
trying
who
to."
cares?
Right? Who cares? Exactly. No.
Like outside USD, who cares?
All right. Do you want your mom to call you that? Is that what's happening?
Of course not, because she will ask me to pay the bill, and I would not do that.
Or if you go to like a McDonald's and you order your food and they're like calling your name, you want them to say PhD. Hey, I have an order for this PhD. And I'm like, no.
Yes, of course. That would be annoying and obnoxious at the same time. So for me, I don't care. I don't care actually. But for me, not to step on toes of somebody, I would just not be. I would prefer to be called professor, like maybe a teacher or instructor or assistant professor, if you may. But professor is a really big feat in the Philippines, so I would not really claim to be that.
No, that
But
makes sense.
I think in America, I think you call everybody professor.
Yeah, because the way how you define it, having it like a sort of level or hierarchy, professor and instructor is just two of the same name here in U.S.
True.
But then again, I don't know
Right.
what how
True.
the college system works. Maybe it is similar as in UP, but yeah, I didn't go to college
UST,
here.
UST, not UP.
Sorry.
Ooh,
You
don't-
said UST.
No, I
You
said
said UP.
University of Santo Tomas. Do not mix those up. Holy smokes, bro.
Hey,
Do-
it's not my fault. You told me UP.
No, I said University of Santo Tomas.
Yeah, you said it out loud.
Do not mix this up.
Okay, fine. Sorry, my bad, people. My
Yes,
bad. My
School
bad.
spirit is a big thing.
Holy
in the
smokes.
Philippines, so
Oh my
come
gosh,
on,
like-
come
like in
on.
here-
UP is a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I apologize.
It's
I
like a-
apologize. Sorry.
No problem. But the bottom line is, as long as you do your job, and who cares? I mean, for me, I don't even care about labels. You may call me EJ, Edward, or whatever.
All right.
because we're not anyway in the academy and we're not inside the classroom. So by all means, you may call
Right.
me whatever.
No, it makes sense. So with your TikTok, social media, and all that, and I noticed that in every app you have different kinds of content that you bring in, like
Yeah,
in TikTok and Instagram and YouTube.
I'm happy that you noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
different.
what made you start doing? Let's start with TikTok, because your TikTok is very engaging. Which makes sense,
thank
because you want, I mean, it's to all our TikTok viewers, or I guess our viewers that goes into TikTok. TikTok is for kids. Like, let's be honest. Like, the target
What are you
of
trying
TikTok.
to say, CB?
No, no. Here's my thing. 'Cause
What?
the target.
You are trying unfamiliar terrain, CB. Like, what are you trying to get?
Kuya
into
EJ,
this?
hold on. Don't set me up. I'm trying.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay,
So
go. Sige,
TikTok.
I'll give you a chance. Okay, to redeem yourself.
Yes.
Okay, go, CB.
TikTok demographic is for kids, like younger teenagers, and like you don't see 56-year-old people usually go to
Younger
TikTok.
audience.
Yeah.
I am not 56. CB.
No,
We're not saying that
We're
you
not
are.
saying that. Like, they don't usually go there. They go to Facebook or things like that. Like, the target of TikTok is younger generations. But your TikTok, here's this is why I premise it. Here you go. Your TikTok is very engaging for younger generation. Like, they watch it because of you do dubs. That's very important. Like, when you show your video, you're not just talking on your phone. You show your video and then you're dubbing at the same time, or monologuing and things like that. So that's very engaging. So what made you start doing TikTok or content creation?
Well, actually, I started uploading videos on TikTok way back in the year 2018. It was not TikTok
wow.
yet.
Yeah,
we call it
Musical.ly.
Musical.ly.
Yeah.
Musical.ly. And it's a different game during that time. It's all about like transitions and lip syncing. And then I stopped creating content, I think in 2019. I
Gotcha.
was in New York during that time, by the way.
Gotcha.
And then I stopped creating because I got busy. I studied, and I think my account became stagnant for quite some time. Only during the pandemic that I started to upload videos again. And the plan is it was supposed to be something personal that I can be goofy and
Yeah.
I can be less serious, because come on, I've been teaching for more than 15 years now, and I think I have a lot of students who would see me. So
Right.
I would not want them to see me like lip syncing or doing some concessions.
Try to
But
stay
during the
face, stay
pandemic, maybe
face.
out of boredom, because of course you have to admit it, you don't want to see your teacher doing those things, right? Like,
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
be like cringe.
I guess you're right.
That
I
is something
guess.
cringy, right? So so I guess I started that because of boredom, and since the pandemic, our classes became online, and I find it difficult to record myself using other applications, and YouTube is actually one of the best ways and easiest ways on how to record videos for my students. That's why I started it.
Yeah.
And I never thought that it would really grow that much. Even I myself, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Actually, it is for young kids and or young demographics. That's why.
Wait to
when
attack
I
me
reach
and you
my-
believe the same thing that I just said.
Of course, you know what? Come on, you can be hard on me because I have heard everything. Like,
Yes.
on TikTok, you need to be strong. Like, TikTok is only for the strong, most especially if you're an
Oh
adult.
my
Because
gosh.
people would really bash you.
Yeah,
Like, somebody even
Yeah.
commented that get out of this app because you're too old for this. Like,
my
this is meant to be for us.
Real?
Yes, and during those times,
Now I'm thankful that I'm not famous.
no, and during that time, I was kind of new to the new face of TikTok. I responded, which I regret
Oh,
so
do
much.
not ever respond.
Yes, that is true. But I was learning because that was just like the beginnings of
Yeah.
the new face of TikTok.
Yeah.
I responded and I said that at least I pay my own bills, and you're just a kid,
Yes.
And you know what? I regretted it because I learned my lesson. I should not respond to those kinds of
Because
of
that's what
comments.
that's what they're trying to get from you, is for you to
Yes,
respond.
actually, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
No, that is awesome. So the TikTok, and then you found your niche when? Like, what video did you find your, like, this is what I'm gonna start doing in this
My
in this app?
breakthrough video would have to be about one of my travels in Turkey.
Okay.
I was buying ice cream, and then
I did see that video.
in Istanbul, I think that is
Yeah.
one of their I think tradition. Like if you would buy ice cream, they would make it difficult for you to get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the kids found it fun. They found it interesting, and of course controversial for some. And that's why I think that is the first video that reached 2 million views.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that made me, or I mean, I think that is the magnet for my followers.
Mm.
I think because of that I got like 10,000 followers, and then before I know it, it's 34,000 now, and I was like, what? Like what? Because I'm not particularly good looking. I'm old. I don't dance. I don't show skin. So what? Like why? Right? So yeah.
Was that the hope for you is to go
Up until now, CB, actually, hindi pa rin ako makapaniwala. I can still believe it that I have 34,000. Like, come on. Right?
yeah, so
Sir
but
EJ. And I was like, sir.
so
No,
EJ.
don't call me sir. Just call me EJ, Jed.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
find it awkward, especially that I'm back to school now. So like, how do I address you? So, should I just say EJ? And
Yes,
it's like,
EJ would be
I'm
fine.
talking to my teacher now.
No, just EJ. But if EJ is like bothering you because of the forbidden app, then you may call me Edward. It's okay.
So let me premise this. The Forbidden app is where we all met. There's an app. It's a live stream app where we all met. Well, I guess most of us, and we don't talk about it because it's a crappy app. So we don't like that app.
It's not that because it's forbidden or it's something illegal.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
anything
it's like Lord Voldemort, like who must not be
it's
named.
just that we don't want to talk about
The
it.
one must be.
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, I'll
Too much
respect that.
Yeah,
bad
'cause-
experience.
Yeah, because we don't want to
I
promote
will
it.
not mention again.
right. Right. Okay, so these you did your traveling vlog, and you did a lot of stuff on YouTube, and educational stuff, and then you have your personal stuff on Instagram. Were you hoping, because you say you couldn't believe that you have like 34,000 people following you, were you not hoping to be popular? Like, is that not the hope for you when you started TikTok?
No, being popular is so scary, CB. I think you know that. But
Yeah.
it has its bad sides
Yeah.
too. But I think in TikTok, what I really want, I'm not so sure. To be honest, possibly yes. I want to be popular, but should I say in a good way? Because I still, even though TikTok is something personal for me, still, it could be seen by my students. And I think in the Philippines,
Right.
and maybe in America as well, I'm not so sure. But in here, once a teacher is always a teacher. Wherever you go, you'll be a teacher. And I think that puts a lot of pressure
Like-
on me.
Oh,
Yes. Role model, your
Yeah,
benchmark.
that is true. That is true. And that's why on TikTok I'm very careful. If you would notice also, CB, I'm not posting anything political. I'm not posting anything controversial, because whenever I would post something on TikTok and anywhere like Instagram or YouTube, I would really ask myself, like, what would my students make up, like what would they think about this?
Yeah.
It's like you're an instant public figure.
Oh,
Yes,
100%. Well, we
yes,
talked about this in our podcast that typical Filipinos, we put celebrities on a pedestal. Like whatever they say,
That's right.
we believe it,
Yeah,
because
that's
we watch TV consistently. Constantly we're
That
like
is true.
dived into TV. So we
That is true.
treat celebrities heroes. Sometimes they even higher than
Perfect
political,
people.
political people. It's like, oh, I believe in
Flawless.
this, you should do this, and like, oh yeah, we're gonna start following that. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I love your TikToks. What hooked me up the most is, and I really do appreciate it, and it's so unique because you featured small businesses like restaurants in the Philippines. There's not a lot like that, in social media or TVs or anything like that features these small businesses that cannot afford advertisement, any form of advertisement, and you do it in a vlogging interesting way where people are like, oh, I like that, I that's interesting, I want to go and be there. Like, we missed Philippines so much. Waka lived in the Philippines for for 4 years, and when I was watching your eating your eating videos, I'm like, I want to go there. I didn't know. I've been going in that place multiple times. I didn't know that place exists. And it was awesome. So what made you start doing that restaurant or traveling vlog?
I think that is really my plan on my TikTok account, really. Like travels and food, art and literature. And before I changed my information, my what do you call it, bio? Is that bio?
Yeah.
On TikTok. I used to say, sorry, old guy right here.
You're good.
You're learning the
Like I
slang.
said,
That's good.
information, like what is that?
You'll get the lingo.
I would say like travel, and then literature, and then art, and then food. Those are the 4 things that I really vlog about on TikTok.
I already love you,
And
man.
but you know what, CB and Waka and Jed, those 3 or those topics are really the topics that Filipinos would really want to watch. Like for them, they would really watch it because they also want to go there. But I think one thing that about the videos I post, they are not really the expensive ones. If you would notice, like these are the affordable ones that they can actually go to.
Yeah.
Right. And in TikTok, I'm a different person. Like on Instagram, I will post different things.
Right.
And on TikTok, I can be the bakya person that I am. Na parang ito, talagang pang bakya ito yung pangmasa.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And I think currently, CB, right now, the most viewed video on my account would have to be my experience with Toho. And Toho is the oldest restaurant in the Philippines. It was established in the year 1888.
Oh,
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
That was
1888.
awesome.
Like,
That's
come on.
crazy.
America's not even... I'm not so sure about American history, but I think America was so young during that time. And,
Right.
come on.
Wow,
Before the
1888.
World War II.
Shoot.
So I think
bro.
everybody would want that because they want a part of history, and it's nearby. It's in Manila.
Yeah.
It's not expensive. It's not for the elites. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think in TikTok, most of the users are like that. They really want to watch something that is relatable.
Yeah, because when he told me about you to know a little bit about you before I came to we all here hang out, I was like, all his videos, I feel like he's not trying to show off himself. He's just trying to have everyone ride along with him. It's like, I love how he's traveling here and there, showing what's up. And I was telling him, I'm jealous of this guy. He's doing what I really want to do. He is traveling, but I love it because
He's just like collecting memories and sharing it to the
exactly.
public,
So
Yes.
right?
I like how you're just giving us a ride along. Like, hey, this is
Yeah.
here, this is there. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Partially low key though, we invited you, not just for this, but we want to know your secret because it's like we invited Dino in our previous podcast, and he's like the ultimate nerd. The dude has multiple video games and things like that, and that's what he loves. And we're like,
Is he the
that's-
Dota guy?
He
The
is.
Dota guy.
No,
Dota guy.
so he wrote and rapped "Mas Mahal Mo Ba Ang Dota." He's and I didn't know. I had no
For
idea
real?
that was the guy. When I was interviewing him, the whole purpose of the interview is just about his video games and stuff. And I asked him, what how would you feel when you had your first viral? And he told me, well, this is how I felt. When Mas Mahal Mo Ba Ang Dota came out, and I wrote that. I'm like, wait, hold up, what? I was blown away. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
your
watched that video too. I told you I was literally stalking you back.
oh, we appreciate it. We
No, that was
appreciate
awesome.
Yeah, I even watched your first TikTok ever. Like you were saying, those transition videos.
Yes,
that you introduced
yeah,
all of your team members.
We're still
Come on,
we're still
I'm stalking
trying.
you back.
I love it. I love it.
I
We're-
guess he was preparing himself for what questions we might.
Yes, and don't forget the googly eyes. I was laughing myself out. I was laughing so hard about the googly eyes. I think that's you, Jed. I think that's you.
That's all right.
They were saying that you have googly eyes.
That was a review for the Beth
Oh
Harmon
my
movie.
goodness.
Yes,
Chef
But
movie.
that was you, right?
That
you.
was
They were
her.
calling
That
you-
was her.
Yeah.
That was her. Yeah.
Yeah, he would know because he does all the editing.
Yeah, we have banters left and right. Yeah. We have
Googly
because
eyes.
look
I
at
was
her.
laughing.
Look at her eyes. Look at it. Like
Welcome to think of it. Yeah.
He said a lot worse than googly eyes.
Well,
He said a lot.
welcome back to the podcast, Jen.
Oh man, love it.
No, but the
The secrets.
Secrets.
yeah, we want to know because we're still trying to find our niche in TikTok. It has to be content creation is almost like a full-time job. You have to study and the things that you want to be original because there's a lot of different kinds of contents
That's
out
right.
there, and people are like doing the same thing over and over again. But for you, that was so original. I mean, we saw like a TV show in the Philippines where he traveled a lot and go to different restaurants all over the country and try their food. I forgot the title of the show, but he started like season 1 of the show. Or the first episode of the show, the dude is skinny. The end of the show, he got fat.
Oh,
like he
wow.
got he got thick.
Oh wow,
Because that's all he did, is just travel and eat,
eat.
travel and eat. Yeah.
interesting.
So with all your traveling, because you travel all around the world too, right? Like what other countries you been into?
Recently, my last travel was I think in Denmark and in Sweden.
Okay.
But before that, I was able to travel in some countries in Europe,
Oh.
Budapest and
Yeah.
I saw that.
Berlin, and then I think what else? I forgot.
You're in and out in the States too, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, I always go there to study about art, like
Gotcha.
in
Oh,
the
wow.
museums in New York, because New York is like, I think the center of modern art. And since I teach also art, I really need to improve myself by taking some short courses in New York. So I am always in the city. Every once in a while. Only that I think in the past 2 years I wasn't able to go there because of the pandemic.
So you go.
But I think I'll be there in June. I'll be there in June.
Yes.
I think.
So you're not just going out for R&R. You're really like going to places for educational purposes.
Yes, like for example, I went to Budapest to learn things about the opera, and I went to Baku, Azerbaijan, to study about one of my most favorite authors who wrote operas too. So yeah. It is
Oh.
like so it means when I travel, it's like hitting two birds or even three birds using one stone.
Oh
Man, I
man.
feel
Because I teach
Aw.
because I think I teach art in the Philippines, and
Yeah.
I think teaching art, you yourself must experience art for you to really teach it like in the best way possible.
Yeah. But you're not those typical, I guess I'm stereotyping them, the typical artsy person that's melodramatic and just want to be alone. You're very outgoing. So it's like
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, that is a stereotype, CB. Really, that is
it is a stereotype. Because I mean, it's
yeah.
it's partially true, especially in the high school students. Like the artsy people that draws. They're always sitting in the corner with the long hair, listening to emo music. Like, what is happening right now? I love you though. It's great. Can you make
Yeah.
me an avatar?
Oh man.
But yeah, traveling is really fun, but well,
But
it is quite
CB,
expensive though.
I
The school
bet.
would
I
not
don't blame you.
sponsor me. The school would not sponsor me. So if ever I would go to places, it would have to be from my own pocket and sometimes from the generosity of my friends.
Oh wow.
Ah,
Oh wow.
okay. Do you rep the school as you go on the trip, or this is just all you and the people that
No,
watches
that's
you?
me. Yeah,
Okay.
that's me. Mhm.
Nice. That's awesome. I do like the material that you put up. What I was gonna.
Hold on. So Jed is
secret.
asking. Jed is asking something.
Oh, what? Yes, Jen.
I was supposed to say something about the artsy people.
Oh, the stereotype.
Yeah,
I think we could blame movies for that because they always portray people who is good in arts or painting and all those sorts, or like an anime creator. They
Yeah.
always like portray this person to be aloof or like weird, and then a person who doesn't really go out, who doesn't socialize. And I was like, I've never been like that.
Yeah, because she draws. Like she's
Yeah,
she's
really?
amazing. Yeah, she's an amazing
Never
artist.
been that emotional, but it's true. I love to draw whenever I'm too emotional, or
See,
if I'm going through a lot.
Isn't that what I said?
But not the kind of not the kind of like long hair and then you're just gonna do this to your paper and all the pages.
Come on, Jed. You had an emo face. Let's be honest. You had an emo face in high school.
For real? Is that true, Jed? You had that kind of face.
We all had to go through the emo phase, but I
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
stay long.
I know, I had that too. Come on, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance,
Yes.
Yeah,
like
I
Black
think
Parade.
it's
Like,
when you wanna do art, you want it to be alone. You want to focus in your piece, and with people around you, you just can't concentrate. And I don't like when people are looking whenever I draw something. I don't like people looking at the progress or checking on. Okay, so what are you gonna do after that? And then this one, it's like, oh, this is not complete yet. I don't want people to like
True.
criticize my art because it's not done yet, and they'd
True.
be asking a lot of questions like, okay, it's a work in progress, just wait for the outcome. That's why I never post any of my paintings while I'm doing it. I just post the art or the piece once it's done because
True.
I
It makes sense. It makes
want people
sense.
to think I'm weird.
You're just
No,
anti
that's not weird.
you're just antisocial. It's okay, we understand.
No, I think teaching art for more than 15 years, I think I was able to figure out the reason behind that.
Oh yeah.
Because you cannot do anything when you're happy. Like when you're happy, you tend to focus on the happiness, on the feeling. So you would not care about writing a poem or drawing something.
Yeah.
You only have time to do those things when you're sad, right?
Right.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
Come
get
on.
it.
If I'm happy, the least thing I would or the last thing I would do is to draw. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm happy, I would just like say, "Hooray, I'm happy." But
Right.
when you're sad, you have time.
Right.
Right?
Isn't that why what's his name? The artist who's always drunk. Is it Mark Twain? No, it's not Mark Twain. There was a guy, I forgot his
Ernest
name.
Hemingway, I guess.
Hemingway,
He's
yeah,
always
he's
drunk.
always
Yeah, right.
drunk. He's and they don't know how he died. He just showed up dead. Like one day they found him dead. They don't know if he's murdered, if he OD'd or something. Like they have no idea. And that's artists, they get drunk. They I
I
don't know,
think
they're
come
very
on.
emotional.
Yeah, it's that common role to
They're emotional.
if you're an artist, you'd be alcoholic. I think that's a common route because I don't know. Maybe
You might get.
because you have
Hey,
a
hold
lot
up,
of things
hold
in
up.
your
You
head.
might get in trouble. We're talking to a teacher about art.
Okay.
We gotta stop.
No, it's okay. No, I understand. That is very common. Like for artists, for writers, that is the stereotype that they would get.
Yeah,
Like Edgar
yeah.
Allan Poe died lonely and sad, and
Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway was a drunkard, and some would really harm themselves, which is very wrong. But I think the key here is that I think you need to understand that as a person you have layers, right? You are not just like an artist. You're a person too. You're a brother. You are a
Yeah.
sister. In the case of Jed, you're a son. So it means as a person you need to like know those layers and separate them like
Yeah.
seamlessly for you to survive well in this world,
Great
right?
balance.
Hindi pwedeng isa lang, 'di ba? Na
Right,
parang you're just an
right.
artist, 'di
Yeah.
ba?
Yeah.
So I think that is one thing that most of us would forget, that we would compartmentalize everything in just one box. Like you were just an artist and that's you all the time. But
Yeah.
no, human beings are complex beings. Like we have different layers to as a person, and you need to juggle it like seamlessly.
No,
Right?
that's
yun
yeah.
ang key dun,
Dude.
I think.
And
guess.
I also love that you are we're not going to talk about any political views or anything like that, but I just love that you are open, and because you love books,
Yeah.
and we're going to ask you the secret later, but I just want to mention it because I'm going to forget. You love books. You're a bookworm. Like if someone said
True.
a bookworm, you are the definition of a bookworm. Like you're probably not even a worm. You're probably like a different form of an animal when it comes to books, because you read books. You love books. And
So those books behind you is not decorations.
yeah, they're not decorations, like we know some people who just buy books and then put it in their background when they take pictures, like, yeah, I'm reading this book, and then they'll take one quote from that book and post it. It's like, yeah, I read that book. It's like, yeah, you didn't. Let's be honest, you didn't read that book. What I love is you are open to different point of views, and you read
very
certain authors and read their point of view, and then you go to a like totally different perspective, like opposite perspective of that book, and read that book too, and then you come up with your own solution, which I love, because we need that in our society, whether in the Philippines or America or all over the world. We need to listen to different point of views and then come up with our own point of view, because the problem is we just look at that point of view and then
then we
believe
just
it,
take it, yeah.
and not listen to the other point of views. Like, no. So have you always been a bookworm when you were a kid?
Yes, actually. When I was young, the greatest gift I've ever received is a set of encyclopedia from my mom. I was crying
Wow.
like when she gave me that. And during that
Wow.
time, like I was very old encyclopedia. I don't even have that now. But anyway, during that time, that was a big thing. Like if you would receive a complete
Oh.
set from A to Z, that is really something. And I was
Is
really
it?
happy.
Is it
Yes,
something you really personally love to do, or
Yes.
I mean, because me, I really hate reading, and I would force my son to read just because I don't want to. I want him to be the person that
You have a son?
Yes.
Yeah, I
He's
have a son.
adorable.
And CB
Like,
was
oh my
so
goodness,
excited
I
when
thought
saw
you're
that we were in the
15.
car.
Jed.
Oh. She does look young, but yeah, she has a son, and he's adorable.
I was surprised. Like, sorry, I got distracted because I thought you were 15, Jen. Like,
No, I'm 31.
oh my goodness! You must tell me the secret. You must be the one spilling the secret about this. Like 30.
You need to watch TikTok so that people will call you.
She's the source of the fountain of life, fountain of youth.
For real? 30 freaking one?
Actually sneaking earlier, and it was like, don't call me, because I was teasing him earlier, and I said, if you wanna join our pod, you can just sit there and watch, so that you can meet CB and walk in person. No. I'm gonna lock myself up in a room.
So
Well, anyway,
the book.
Now you
yeah.
get to your point now, Jed. Sorry for distracting you with my foolishness. You were saying.
And I forgot what.
No, because you said you don't like reading books, and he likes to read
Oh,
books.
you like you don't like
Yeah.
reading books. That's where you left off.
It was like my ideal self. I wanted to be, like a bookworm or someone that is really diligent or something like that. Something that someone who is hardworking when it comes to taking her classes and all those things. But that is just my ideal self, and CB, I was one of those people who were buying books.
Oh.
We got a confession here.
So you want to?
I wanted to read them. I really would love to read all of those books that I bought. It's just that I don't have that much time, and I wanted to just go over the back
Really,
page,
though?
and then
Really?
so that's what the story is about.
So I guess
You know what,
But
Jed?
this will
I
be
don't
awesome.
find
I
anything
wanted to
wrong with
know-
that. I think that is a wrong, obnoxious, condescending notion that all readers are intelligent people, and those who don't read
I
are not.
agree.
I mean, come on.
I agree.
Let's be real. Like, not all those who read are actually bright
I wanted to
people.
I wanted to have that that passion, that drive to read books, at least for at least a couple of pages.
But you're number one, you're an artist.
Mhm.
Number one, you're an artist, Jed. Number two, you have the secret of youth. So what else could you ask for? Like, forget about books. Like, who cares?
You're hearing it from a
But,
professor.
I think my point.
Teacher, instructor. Sorry, my bad.
So, sorry, Jed. How do I? Sorry, I killed
With your busy schedule, all the traveling, and then your profession, how do you manage to read books? Because I really wanted to read books. It's just that I don't have the
That's
time.
good. That's good.
I cannot imagine myself not reading. I think for a day. That's it.
Wow.
But I'm not saying that I'm bright and smart and I am the model citizen, because I really hate that kind of notion that because in the Philippines they would say, oh, you read, you must be smart, and you don't read, you must be dumb. But no, that's not it. Especially now we're living in the new millennium. Like, I mean, we all have our skills, So I think it is a wrong. I think that is one thing that we should change in our mindset. That when you read, you are automatically smart, and if you don't read, you are not really smart. That's not true. That is not true.
It
Because
depends
I have
on what
met a
you're
lot of
reading.
people.
I know
I bet a
people
lot
who read.
Yeah, exactly,
reading.
diba?
Yeah.
Exactly. I have met people who do read as they claim, and yet they are. Come on.
He doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to say it.
I would
Dumb
not
as a
say.
rock,
I
okay?
would give you the pleasure, CB.
Just
quoting me on this.
dot.
But
We have met our friend.
yeah, I think you have to agree with me on this. That sometimes people who read would be put on a certain kind of pedestal. That you read, oh my goodness, you must be a
Yeah.
good person. You must be so bright. But no, that's not right.
Yeah.
That no, I don't think so, because we all have our talents.
I have a question. So as a teacher of literature, this is how I view reading books. Cause I love to read books, but I'm not as religiously as you in reading books. Like I read certain books, and then when I sit down and I love the book, I will read it. And then I'll look for the other books, and maybe not necessarily like textbooks or I love like fantasies and things like that, non-fictions and fictions. But I guess my question is it true that books are just like music? There's different genre, and you have to find your own genre of books to love. You don't like it's like in music. You don't listen to any music, you like certain music. Is that the same way with books?
If I will be reading for pleasure, yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
sometimes you read for you to be challenged,
Yeah.
right? And that is, I think, one of the misconceptions about being a reader. Like they would say, one time I was reading Ann Coulter. Are you familiar with her?
Yes. Yes.
She's like one of the notorious Republicans in
Yep.
America.
Yep.
I was reading her book, and then people would say, "Why are you reading that? Why are you reading this?" And I would tell them, just because I'm reading this, you are assuming that I actually believe in everything
Yeah.
that she's saying.
Yeah.
Parang, why? That is not true. When you read, you have to read to understand the points, and then
Yeah.
agree on some points, and then disagree on some points. But the point is, you learn something, right? In
Right.
one way or another, you learned something.
Right.
And
Right.
and you know what? I was even warned by my friend that like don't read that on a New York subway, or else maybe some people would just like push you on the
Yeah.
rails of the train.
Yeah.
And I would say,
It's
why?
true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
why? I mean, aren't we free? Like free to
Right.
read whatever book we want to read?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't agree with the philosophy of this woman, you don't want us to read it. Like
Yeah.
for me, if you want, I mean, even in history, like The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, it was banned for the longest time
Oh, wow.
because I think the church, 500 years, it was banned. I'm not so sure if you're familiar with that book, because it teaches us how to be greedy in terms of gaining and maintaining power.
Oh, wow.
Kumbaga, pag binasa mo yun, you like be the leader of the country, and then you would be you can maintain your power. But I think banning it would just let those who were able to read it abuse the knowledge.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah. No,
I think everybody
it.
must read it. For me, everybody must read it, not for them to believe in it, but for us to be aware of the evils around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hindi naman, I mean, come on. If you would keep this book, then people would not know that they're being fooled by others.
Yeah, I
Right?
totally agree. Like even the stuff that you don't agree, or misconceptions or wrong information, you have to have them exist so you would know. Oh, that's a wrong point of view. Like we see it in war. Germans burned books first before they started the Nazi. They burned the Alexander the Great's library because they don't want that information to exist. They wanna rewrite histories. Like we don't want that to exist. We want to make certain things, and that's the power of books. That's like, it's just I get it, Jed. It's just a little boring when you're reading like books about information.
But guys, I think because
That was
before
left
we only have books as source of information, but right now we have a lot of sources.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? We have the internet. So I think
Right.
if you are not really into books, then you can find other, references and sources from other ways.
Yeah, I
Not all
do like
books.
I do audiobooks or or blogs. Like I
Yeah.
read blogs, and that's
True.
considered because it's literature. It's a form of writing.
True.
That's very that. So when I saw you were reading Ann Coulter, because I saw your previous books, right? I'm like, oh, okay, so he has a pattern of books that he reads, and then Ann Coulter. I'm like, wait, what? This is like totally left field. Why is she here? And it was like that was very interesting, and that's awesome. So your
But
secret.
may I confess? I don't hate it. I don't hate the book.
Oh no, no.
I don't hate the book.
So
Like,
as-
she makes a lot of sense at times, but I think the problem is the wording.
Yes,
I guess the way
yes.
she puts it out there. But if you really think about it, if emotions and feelings aside, she is actually making good points.
Yeah, yeah. No, because we see that in the political views right now, and mainly two political views. The Republican and Democratic, and
Yeah, true.
it seems like Republicans are more emotionless when it comes to their point of views. Like it makes sense, but it's like you're slapping me in the face. Like be more relational to me, and things like that. So. With your secret, so the secret of making a social media account or content creation, give us the pattern on how you post videos and make content. How did you come up with this idea, and when do you shoot the video, post the video? Do you have any like strategies on how to do it?
Well, number one, I guess you just need like one shot. You need to have that one video that would really be watched by a lot of people, and once you have that, everything would follow. Right? Like for me, the Turkish ice cream video was it, but I think after having your shot at it, need to be consistent, like posting videos all the time. Because you
Right.
know, if you would post very like rarely in TikTok, for example, the algorithm would not really show you to a lot of people. So it pays to be active. It pays to post at least 2 videos per day if you can. And then also you need to make it more engaging, and you also need to know who is your target audience.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Because you know what, before I was really making videos and I was speaking in English, and I noticed that, you know, when I speak in English in my videos, the views are very few. Like unknowingly, the views are
True.
very few. Yes.
Kiwi,
Jed,
that is
you felt
so
the same?
true.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
true because a lot of people would tell me, can you post videos where you're not speaking English?
True.
Because I don't know, it's because it's not too engaging, especially for the Filipinos.
For the
Even if we
Filipinos,
know
yeah.
there are a lot of people who, speaks good English, even better than us, but they still prefer people speaking our own language, or I don't know. It's more catchy. It's more
Is it because it hits
appealing.
home more than English? Knowing English is a
Possibly,
second.
yes, possibly. Or it is more, I think, relatable, because TikTok is like that. If they can relate with your videos, then they would watch it. If your videos alienates them, then by all means they would just skip it. So I guess number one, the key is like know your demographics, and you know, in TikTok you have time to explore, like you have time to learn about it, because you know,
Yeah.
unlike in YouTube, you can just like post a lot of videos every single time, and I think that's the first thing. You need to know who your audience is. Like before, so when I realized that they would really like videos that are in Filipino or Taglish, then I started posting videos that are Taglish. Kasi ang tagal din, CB, Waka, and Jed, before I was able to have a follow-up hit on TikTok. My first hit was the ice cream thing, but it took me a while before I was able to have traction once again.
Yeah.
And I realized that the Tagalog thing, the Filipino thing, is actually very effective, since that most of the users of TikTok are actually, or in any social media application, are Filipinos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if that is the case.
Yeah, and I think the main reason is that majority of the social media users, or those that are mostly hooked into social media or had most of the time um, going on social media videos and those things, are those that are not busy at work, or
Okay.
not
You got me
not
scared, Jed, for a moment. I thought,
not non-professionals. Those are just at home. Those who are out of school, So most of them do not really speak English or understand English that well. So
I'm on
they
TikTok all the
won't-
time. Are you saying I'm dumb?
No,
she was not saying that.
You said that word. I know. I'm not saying dumb. It's just that they're not
I know.
comfortable. They're not comfortable with. They're not comfortable with English videos compared to the Filipino videos, or people who are speaking Filipino.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
You got me scared, Jed, for a
Even
moment.
my
I was really
parents-
holding my breath. If
even
you would
my
say something
parents, I
offensive to
can't-
other people. I think Waka and CB is also feeling the same way.
Right.
Like we were waiting for that word.
Even my family who are living in US or outside the Philippines, I can't convince them to like my videos or watch my videos just because I'm speaking English.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd
I was
be
waiting
like,
for
why
a-
don't you just speak Bisaya?
I was waiting for a controversial thing that
Yeah,
Jed would
I
say,
was
so I
too.
can clip it and post it on TikTok and tag you.
True. And Jed will be bashed like
Yes,
tremendously. Like, what are you
100%.
trying to say?
Well, we'll go viral though, but she will get bashed. It's okay. I'm just kidding. Can I just say, can I ask you as a teacher or instructor on literature and art, in a prestigious college or university in the Philippines, it's been bothering me now this past few months. Jed and I had this conversation, and I wanted to make it a content or a podcast and talk about it. It bothers me that, so I'm from the Philippines. I'm from Pampanga, and I can speak Kapampangan.
Oh.
Jed, yes, and Jed is from
Mindanao.
Mindanao,
I
yeah.
speak Bisaya.
She speaks Bisaya, and I think I don't know. I feel like it bothers me when people say I speak Filipino. I'm like, well, it's not really Filipino. I speak Tagalog.
Right.
You know, is
Yeah.
that is that safe to say that we don't speak Filipino? We speak Tagalog.
Actually, it must be the other way around. Like the Komisyon ng Wikang Filipino, if I'm not mistaken, was
Gotcha.
able to make a distinction about that. Like when we say Tagalog, it pertains to the languages in Luzon. The Tagalog terms like
Gotcha.
Luzon.
Gotcha.
Or Manila, for example, Cavite, Bulacan, and other areas in
Yeah.
NCR. But when we say Filipino, it represents all languages. I think
General.
that is the major
wow.
language that we use.
Gotcha.
That is the official language. Tagalog is the language of Luzon. Parang ganon.
Gotcha.
So Filipino is an overarching term to describe our official language.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. No,
But the
that
problem
makes
is in
sense.
the Philippines we have a lot of languages.
We
Like
do.
for example, we have the Bisaya, we have Kapampangan,
Right.
marami, Ilocano, marami.
Yeah.
And not only that, Tagalog itself would have a lot of variations. Like in Cavite, there are certain terms that we use that they don't use in Manila.
Yeah.
Diba? So talagang
Yeah.
alam mo agad yung regionalism. But in terms of the language, the official name is Filipino, but Tagalog would have to be the language that we speak in Luzon. Most parts of Luzon, for that matter.
I guess that makes sense because when you go to China, they said I speak Chinese, but there's Mandarin people, there's Cantonese, and there's other
Yes.
dialects in China, but they say I speak Chinese. No, that makes sense. It just bothers me. It's like, I mean, I don't wanna say that the whole
Yeah.
country speak Tagalog. I mean, like we have a dialect and that's Tagalog. I guess when people say, "Do you speak Filipino?" Yeah, I speak Filipino, but the dialect is Tagalog and Kapampangan, because we have like hundreds of dialects. And like even in Bisaya, there's different variations of Bisaya.
Yeah,
There's-
Waray.
Right.
Diba? Tama yan dyan, diba? May Waray, may
Ilocano.
Ilonggo.
Yeah, right,
Ilonggo,
right. Even though there's most of your words are the same thing, but it's still different. Like the accent is different,
Variety.
the flow is different.
The nuances are different as
Yeah.
well. There are certain nuances. Yeah.
Like I love when Ilonggo and Waray will speak with each other.
Very different. Because
Very
Waray,
different.
Waray is it sounds like harsh. Like
Yeah.
it seems like
Right.
they're always shouting, diba? Pero Ilonggo are so soft. So yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah.
And we Kapampangans, we speak loud.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's how we do.
We speak loud. The loudest person in the room would have to be the Kapampangan. We're saying, wow, may kani sa gulo eh. Nanumurin mo. mga
Nanumurin.
ganyan, diba?
Yeah. Potanamo. What? You cussing at me?
Ebon, mga
Ebon.
ganyan, diba?
Well, it makes sense now. It makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
What does Ebon mean?
Bird.
But Waka is from where in the Philippines?
I'm actually not Filipino. I'm Samoan.
Filipino.
Oh!
Yes, I was out there for school for 4.5 years, and that's where I met this guy.
Not in USD.
No.
Oh, no.
In Valenzuela.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went in Valenzuela. That's where we met. So we lived there for 4 years, and it's funny, and we tell people this all the time. When people come up to us, whether in the Philippines or especially here in America, when they said, "Are you guys Samoan?" And because we're always together, I say yes. And then if someone asks, "Are you guys Filipino?"
I say yes.
Yeah.
You would say yes.
Yeah. That's,
That is a good dynamic.
yeah.
You know.
Well, because it's hard to explain. It's like I'm Filipino and he's Samoan, but he live in the Philippines and this and that. It's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
you know what? Let's make it
complicated.
easy. Yes, for everything.
True.
Like I was
Yes.
asked multiple times, "Hey, no habla español?" No, I don't. I'm from the Philippines. I don't
Yeah.
speak Spanish.
But yeah, I'm someone Polynesian from the South Pacific Islands. I mean, I think you should be familiar with as an instructor. Knight? No?
Yeah.
Where it's similar to Hawaii and Tonga and Tuvalu, Guam, and so forth. But yeah, I'm not Filipino, but I love the country.
But living in the Philippines for 4 years is something. Like, come on.
Oh,
I think you learned a
yes.
lot about.
I
the
learned a
Philippines.
lot. People are great. Love it. I love the food. And unfortunately, I mean, I know I've been there for 4.5 years. I still did not pick up the language. Only picked up enough not to get swindled. Because as you know, that if everyone knows that you're from US, it's like, oh, money. They don't. As a foreigner, it's like money. So they try to swindle me. I was like,
So when you hop in a Jeep, what do you say?
Come on,
wait.
give it to us.
Yeah.
Or so when I hop on a Jeep and I'm going somewhere, I say the name of
Place.
the name of the place. Wait, right? No, I just put the money in.
Yeah. What do you say?
We taught you, Waka. We
Oh,
had
come on.
No,
he-
I know,
he
no,
knows-
but
he
no.
knows
When I
this.
know when to stop, I say,
Yo.
para po.
Uh-huh.
But
Para po.
When you're
or paying, I just say makano or
Oh.
it's like I'm going to Malenta. It's like sa Malenta po.
Malinta.
Yeah.
So may pure gold?
Yeah,
Paso
yes,
de Blas ba
yes.
yan?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you
gusto
say,
kong Paso de Blas.
and then you said bayad po, right?
Yeah, bayad po. Oh, there you go. That's the
Yeah,
word.
bayad
Yeah,
po.
bayad po. And then
Bayad po. Oh.
yeah, so I only know the certain words that I know I don't get swindled because I look like a Filipino, just among the people because I'm brown. I love it. And but when I speak English, they will know it's like, oh, he's foreigner, so probably I
Get
can.
money. Yeah.
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 Ting,
Exactly.
ting, ting,
You don't want to be
ting.
swindled. Don't date anyone. In the
Hey,
Philippines.
hey, yo, hey, hold up. Don't. This is the Maximum
Go, Jed,
Filipino
it's
show,
okay.
and we promote Filipinos. Do not listen to Jed. Not all Filipinos are like that.
Yeah.
We're not swindled.
But over to that, I love the country. I love the people. I mean, I've met a family that took me in as I was schooling, so they boarded me in, and it just taught me a lot about the Filipino culture. Very family oriented. Love it. That's like my third home. I wouldn't mind going back, and if I was given the opportunity to live in the Philippines, why not?
He would marry a Filipino though, for sure.
No, that's an option.
But
As long as-
to the dismay of Jed, perhaps.
Yeah.
But-
As long as she can cook adobo, he's all set.
Yeah. Give me food. You
Yeah.
speak my language.
So do you read fiction too? Fiction
Yes,
for
I do,
entertainment.
yeah.
Okay, so I guess this
But
is my,
I'm more of a classic guy. Like I really want to read the classics first before I indulge myself in modern books. So no 50 Shades of Grey for me. No.
sorry, Jed.
Was that the book that you bought?
No,
that you were able to buy?
That kind of books
The
are the
look on her
least of my
face,
favorite.
man.
I'd rather watch it.
Of course you do. Okay, I have a segment in this pod, and I think it's really important because you are instructor of literature and art. Tell us the most overrated book. And I know this is gonna sound controversial, but what is the most overrated book that everybody loves, but you think it's not that good?
That is hard. That is difficult. Come on, Jed, save me. Because
Like to me,
you're the
okay,
one who's
I'm gonna
controversial, right?
tell you my overrated book. This is my overrated book. My overrated book is Hunger Games. I think Hunger Games is overachieving. Like it's not that good of a book. I don't think it's. I mean, the ending, even the ending is like, all right. And then the beginning of
Yeah, I
the book is
understand.
like you are trying to make it too wordy, but it didn't work. Like when I read The Fault in Our Stars by Green, that one makes sense.
Green.
Like I love it, like I had to put a dictionary right next to me because there's a lot of words in there that I don't understand. Like what does that mean? But with Hunger Games, like yeah, and then you came out with the movies like, oh okay, all right. But to you, what is your most overrated book in your opinion?
Well, I think overrated because it was very successful during that time. 50 Shades of Grey, like come on, like
Yeah.
I think it became popular because of the sexual innuendos found in that particular book. But I have read better. Like for me, if you want to write something sensual, it must be something like in a creative way.
Yeah.
Like of course some visual things, about sex and about doing it, and
Yeah.
reading it, all I can remember is oh my. I think that book is filled with the phrase oh my. And I would say that I have read better. Like for example, D.H. Lawrence in his novel Lady Chatterley's Lover would also talk about sex, but in a different way. Like in a more it was differently written. It was it was artistic, but at the same time it would get the same effect.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
for me, I think that one and Harry Potter. Yes, I went there.
Yo,
So
please
sorry.
give me
I was
permission to
waiting
clip
for it.
that and post it on TikTok
so
because I'm definitely posting it on TikTok.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Explain
But
why.
I'm not really a big fan.
I was waiting for that. It's just that I have a friend who's a big fan of it.
Potterhead.
I'm not saying that the books are bad. What I'm saying is that there are better ones that needs to be celebrated. and that needs
It's
to be
just that it's overrated.
appreciated.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
I think that better books. They're I'm not saying that it's bad. I know it's a
mhm.
good one. I was able to read them, and it was really entertaining. But the magnitude of its success could have been given to something that is more substantial. I guess that
Makes
is my
sense.
opinion.
Yeah. No,
And
no. I
I
get it.
still love those books, but I think the question was like overrated. I think
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
the books were overrated.
No, I
These
get
For
it.
me.
books that we're
Okay.
talking about,
Respect.
I think they became overrated after they were filmed, or the film adaptation.
True, true.
That's when they become popular. But before that, we were like, really? Was there a book for it? Oh,
Yeah.
they got it
Like
from the
Mm.
book.
for the fiction part, like Rick Riordan's books, all of that mythology, it's really amazing. Like even when they started the movies, like yeah, this is awesome. Like Narnia or Lord of the Rings, like all of those books are
Narnia.
great. And then when you go to simplifying it to going to the books, it's like what is this book? Like what is happening right now?
Mm.
You know, but most of a lot of the movie adaptation from a book, it's actually pretty nice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so as a literature teacher, what do you think about manga readers?
I love One Piece. I think that is
Yes.
my favorite
Yeah.
manga, One Piece. I even
Yes.
have I even have a book of that, like book one of One Piece in my library. And
Nice.
uh, 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 that is a different thing, I guess.
Uh-huh.
It is a different genre. It has a different touch to it. The nuances are also different. And what I like about it is because what I like about it is that it brings us to a different state. Like I can explain it,
Mm.
but when you
That
read it, you're like in a
silence
different
earlier.
world. Like you are
Mhm.
not really in the world that you're supposed to be in. I mean, it takes me somewhere. Like I love One Piece. Tingin ko.
Don't
That's
worry,
One
that is
Piece.
we are One
yeah,
Piece
that's
lovers, so you're good.
dude, we were
Yeah.
just talking about that last night with our friend, and we're like so diving into One Piece. We talked about it for
And
3 hours.
not only that, it could be interpreted in so many ways. Like
Mhm.
Mm.
like the stretching of the hand. I mean, the characters.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think I forgot about because I was able to read it like years and years ago. But Luffy was able to eat something that made him that
Yeah.
gave him the
Yes.
skill
Yeah.
of
Right.
Right.
elongating his limbs. And yeah, it brings you somewhere. And rarely, I think in most like because you would also learn about Japanese culture that they're so different from they're oddly different, and I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
manga.
Do
Okay.
you
I
prefer the
don't feel bad
manga
reading them
or
now.
the Filipino comic book?
Well, is this a
That's where
trap, Jed? Is this a trap? I'm falling into it. Because I told you, Jed, I was able to watch all of your episodes. In one of your episodes, you were able to have a guest who is a comics writer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. The Kawangis, man.
Kawangis.
Yeah, we
Yes.
we wanna
Um,
we wanna copy because we wanna read it. Yeah, but I hear you though. There's some shows on Netflix for like the Filipino. I forgot what it was.
Trece.
Trece.
I
It,
guess.
it,
Yeah.
it, it was a
oh
little
yeah,
it
yeah,
was a
yeah,
little
yeah.
cheesy, but I mean
Mhm.
it
The
was alright.
translation. I mean, the what do you call it? The dub.
Mm-hmm.
The dubbing was.
Not only the dub, but I think the story also. I think it needs more fleshing out. And that is the reason why One Piece would have a lot of volumes because
Mm.
they would really focus on the characters,
Right.
the
Right.
character
Right.
development,
Right.
which I think is lacking in Trece. Like they would just say, oh, ito
Mhm.
mangkukulam, o ito duwende, o ito
Right.
puno sa punso.
Right.
Pero there's no context to it. So if you're an American or Filipino in America, you would not know, okay, duwende, like whatever, like choknat, like whatever. Like,
Chok-
Yeah,
diba?
maybe that's the reason why they filmed it. It's the first Filipino comic. I don't know, in Netflix, right? Or I
Right.
don't know.
I'm
Right.
proud of them. I'm proud of them.
Maybe
But I
because
think
it's so simple.
yes, it's so simple, and yet I think it lacks characterization. I mean, uh, I understood it because I'm a Filipino. I live in the
Mhm.
Philippines. I know these mythological creatures like the tikbalang and the
Yeah.
aswang and
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
a choknat is. But for Waka who's not here right now, for Waka and for the rest, possibly they don't know that, and I
Yeah.
don't think the anime
Right.
Trece helped him. Maybe
Mm.
maybe we could ask him later if the anime Trece was
Yeah.
able to help him understand more about the Philippine mythology, but which I
And
think
the
it would
platform
not.
they used, to air it is not, the ideal. I mean, it's just Netflix. It's international, and people would be like, okay, what are these creatures?
True,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Leave
Yeah.
And
it alone.
I think it trended because of the Filipinos also. Because Filipino pride, I mean, let us support it. Kaya nag-trend talaga siya sa Netflix.
Right. Right.
The
Pero
Filipinism.
if we are to be critical, but I think in this podcast we are allowed to be critical.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
CB
Absolutely.
and Jed.
Absolutely.
So I think if we are to be critical and strict about it, then I don't think although siguro maganda siya, entertaining, but I still think that the characters would need a lot of fleshing out, like for us to
Yeah.
understand the real context of it.
Yeah.
Like for example, I think in One Piece there is one chapter explaining everything, like what happened, why would he have this kind of power, or like elongating his limbs. Like in Naruto also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you watching Naruto also?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Diba parang it takes a lot of time to develop a particular character. Imagine
Right.
he started when he was a boy.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
a freaking
It makes
boy.
you feel
Right, right.
involved.
Right.
It
No.
makes you feel involved with the story, and you really get to, wanna know what happened to Naruto after, and then
Yes.
it gets you hooked. The Trece, I think the only good thing that I like about it is because it's the first Filipino,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Anime.
the probably the art part, or what do you call this?
The artwork.
The creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the artwork.
The graphics,
Other
I
than
think.
that, I can't think of anything good.
No, because I totally agree. What they did was they
With the
they
artwork.
they like they showered us with all these Filipino references without explaining what they are. Like I think what they should have done is they gave us like few monsters in there, Filipino monsters and mythical creatures, and then explain that instead of giving us 10 or 15 mythical creatures without explaining what
True.
are those. Like why are they? What do they look like that? What's the origin of that monster? Why are we so afraid of
Right.
that? And why do we believe that? Like give us Tikbalang and Nunu Sapunso, and then explain what they are and how would they be defeated or things like that.
True.
Yeah, they just
I think
pumped
it's
us
just
with
focusing on
information.
Filipino audiences.
But
not
if you really want to market that elsewhere, it must be fleshed out. Like I think it
Right,
must be
right.
explained
That's
well.
really on Netflix.
And
Yeah.
in Naruto, the reason why we love him, because we are witnesses.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
he was how he was able to grow. Like
Yeah.
he's showing an exam, and then he became like this, and he we became invested, even perhaps Americans, because they witnessed the growth of the character, which is very
Right. You
absent
would
in
understand how
Trece.
the character turned out to be this kind of person, this
True.
kind of monster, or whatnot. You
Yeah.
know, um, yeah.
Although Trece, I think they showed when she was still very young, but I think it lacks still characterization. That's why you
Yeah,
cannot relate
they
with her.
started
Like,
with their family already has this rituals, and it's like, how did the family had this rituals? How did she know those? Are they witches or what?
I love
true.
how
And the
passionate
fact
she is.
is, most YouTubers are not honest about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're saying things just to pander to Filipino audiences. That's why "Hey, it's
Oh, I love
great,
that.
it's nice," and I'm saying,
Right,
"Oh my goodness,
right.
are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Right.
Mm.
Right.
You are Pinoy baiting."
Pinoy
It's
baiting.
called.
Pinoy baiting. Okay.
And it became a hit at some point because the anime that we used to have, during the afternoon hours in TV,
True.
we no longer have those. So when Tresic came in, it was like, nostalgic, refreshing that, oh, we are gonna have another Filipino anime. But the disappointment after 5 seconds of watching.
Well, it is an achievement, though, for a Filipino
The
anime
artwork-
to be
the
in
artwork
Netflix.
is what
Right,
I
yes.
love.
No, seriously. We
yeah.
talked about it, and they should like make like Mars Ravelo's characters, since superheroes are happening right now and it's trending. Have Mars Ravelo in in Netflix and make him a series, and Darna and Captain Marvel and all that. I think it'll be awesome. Let's go back to your traveling vlogs. What is your next stop you're hoping for? Not your dream. I
Dubai.
guess my next
think
question will be your
Dubai.
dream.
Oh my
Dubai.
God!
Okay.
Let me know
Oh.
if you want to book tickets.
Okay.
Please sell tickets for.
I plan to go to Dubai. I think
I'll give you a
when everything
discount.
is okay.
Okay.
Oh, talaga? Oh, aantayin ko yan, Jed.
What was
Yeah,
the
yeah, for real.
what was the goal in Dubai?
I really want to swim in the deepest pool.
Oh.
I think Will Smith posted something on
Yeah.
TikTok when he was swimming, and he
Oh,
said that that's the
God.
deepest pool in the world. And I really want to dive, but in the ocean, I'm really scared because I don't know
Oh,
what's like beneath. But
Yeah.
when you're diving in a pool, you know that there are cameras around, that you're safe. Then I think I would love to do that.
Oh.
Also,
Oh
the
my.
tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, I want to
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah.
And possibly dine in the Burj Al Arab,
Yes.
those things. Because I
So
think
the
Dubai
only-
is like a
the-
luxurious city.
Yeah, the only 7-star restaurant in the world.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
would
just
want to do that.
mentioned the places that we.
By all means, yes, by all means.
I don't get
But
any commission, so
but I will not eat in the 7-star restaurant. Maybe I'll just take pictures outside.
Take
No
a
way,
selfie.
like, no freaking way.
right.
I won't spend like dollars and dollars for just like what I can eat, like fried rice in the Philippines. Like no way.
No.
Yeah, Dubai, possibly Dubai.
$36 for a bowl of rice. Oh, thank you.
Oh, man.
That's it.
No way.
Man.
No
That probably
way.
is.
Wow.
So what is your like what Jed said, your bucket list? What's your dream location you want to go to?
My dream location. Actually, I was able to achieve it in the year 2018 already. My dream destination was Cappadocia in Turkey.
Okay.
And we really would want to ride on a hot air balloon while
Oh.
while
I did see
while
that.
watching the landscape.
That was epic.
And
Wow.
yeah. And at first I thought I'm gonna be scared, but when you're there, like, come on, like
Oh
was
yeah.
surreal.
Was it breathtaking?
It was out of this world. Yeah,
Really?
breathtaking. So after that is hard to beat. That is why I think that I was able to achieve it. Like I could die now, but no, not yet. I mean, figuratively, I was able to achieve it. Yeah, like what else is there to see? I mean, come on, that is the work of nature.
Yeah.
But if there's one place that I want to go to, I think I would want to. That is so Bali. I think
Bali. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at Jed.
You also booked that, Jed?
Getting so excited. there
Client here, client.
there are a lot of there's a lot of places that we want to go. Like one of them is Japan for
Yes.
sure. We want to go to Japan because we're big anime manga fan. We want to go there, just walk around, travel. We don't have to buy anything like what you said. Or dining
experience
I
anywhere.
want to
Yeah.
go there for
Just
the
starve to
food.
death and Kyoto. We want to go to New Zealand. Yeah, we want to go
Lord
there.
of the Rings.
Lord of the
Yes.
Rings, right, right. And a lot of European countries that we want to go to.
Which one?
So we want to go to Norway. I love the landscape and the view of the mountains and it's just the solitude of going in those places is just I don't know. I want to go there.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of places like that. Like there's
I wanna
Norway,
go
Denmark.
anywhere.
Denmark,
right
yeah, yeah. Waka wants to go to Amsterdam, but I don't want to go there. I'm married.
Ooh, Amsterdam.
just kidding.
Interesting.
I'm just kidding.
I
No,
was like,
he doesn't
did
wanna
I
go.
ever want to go? When did I say that?
They have a red light district.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How about Egypt? Because you're in the art side. I was wondering if you want to go to Egypt and see
Of
the
course,
pyramids.
of course, yeah. Well, I would also want to go there, but I think how should I say this? Because I'm in petition for green card, and I think one of my lawyers would say that we should stay away from countries that might compromise it.
Gotcha.
For just to be sure.
No, I
just
got
to
it.
be
I
sure.
get it. No, wow.
Yeah.
You're trying to petition here in States?
I also want to go to Petra in Jordan, but
Oh,
that is
yeah.
also another country that if
Yeah.
you are not yet a citizen or you're being petitioned, maybe you should avoid those going
Oh wow.
to those
Right.
places.
How about
for
here in
some
States?
reasons.
How about here in the United States? Any place that you really want to go to?
Aside from New York.
Come on, New York is I think people would hate on me on this, but I think New York is the city. I mean, come on. The moment I stepped on it, I felt it breathe. Seriously, I felt it. It is not clean. Number one, it is not.
New Yorkers would admit to that. Yeah.
It is very smelly. Come on, it has a different scent to it. But I felt that I built because I live in Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
in
okay.
the Garden State.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm in Jersey, I feel, especially in our area, when everybody is like not like me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we are in a community where
Yeah.
in all those apartments, everybody would be not like me. And in New York, that is a breath of fresh air for me. Like I feel I belong. Like this is my city. Like
Yeah.
I can speak Filipino, and nobody would judge me. And you know what? In New York, nobody speaks English. Only in transactions. And then
Yeah.
you would hear
Yeah.
Indians speaking their language, Mexicans and
Oh wow.
Filipinos. So I
Yeah.
think New York is really it is the world city.
Mm.
Although
Interesting.
I also
City.
love Chicago. I also love Chicago.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
was there, I
Oh,
love the
yeah.
art scene.
Yeah.
Also Seattle, but Seattle's so gloomy. I mean,
We
it's so
talked
Seattle
about
gloomy. It
that.
is
always
gloomy.
rains. It's so gloomy, and
I would
I
love
saw
Texas.
that.
that.
Yeah, I would love
Texas
that
also.
too.
I love Texas because the food in Texas are like I think for somebody who has a big appetite, Texas is the state.
Yeah,
Mm.
everybody's big in everything is big in Texas. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
No, my for anybody out there that's want to do, or specifically Filipinos who want to do traveling vlogs like what you're doing, what would be your advice to them? What would you tell them if they want to start like something when they watch your TikToks? Like, I want to do same thing that he's doing, but I don't know how. I don't have this much money. I'm only this and that. What would you tell them?
Well, I think number one, for those who would want to create videos, is that your question?
Yeah, yeah. Be a traveling
well,
vlogger.
number one, you need to be authentic.
Mm.
Like you have to be really, because I think I have seen a lot of posts of persons who would travel, but they would do that not really to showcase the place, but to showcase themselves. Like in some ways to brag about what they can afford, of how much money they have. I think
Right.
you have to be authentic. I think that is one. You have to. You must know why are you really doing this, and to showcase the place, then do it. Ganyan. And I think number two, you need to be relatable. You need to go to the level of your viewers, know them and know what they want, and compromise. I think that is the word. You need to compromise. Like your content and what they want meet halfway, and then of course, I think technicality. You need to have good cameras. I think that is very important. Because people, even though the place is good, if the resolution is not good, then they'll just skip it.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll just ruin the place.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you have to invest on that as well.
Yeah.
Do you take
Ayun.
legit
Yun lang.
professional cameras or like just a really good
Oh,
phone
he had a
camera?
TikTok video on that.
Well,
Oh, I missed that
well,
one.
actually, I only use two phones, iPhone 10 and Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganun lang.
Yeah.
Pero I think you don't need expensive phones. Actually, you just need to know how to shoot them well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like
No.
my Xiaomi is only 24,000, so it's not expensive as an iPhone. But it takes good photos and videos. Ayan.
Yeah.
But bottom line, you just need to be authentic because your audience, and don't underestimate your audience. They know they can smell it.
Yeah.
They know if
Right,
if you're
right.
if you're just bragging. They know if you're just doing this for you
They're
to
all critics.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, parang alam mo yun nagyayabang lang to, gusto lang
Yeah.
to magyabang
Right.
compared to somebody who would really want to, for you to experience the place.
Yeah.
Ayan.
No, because the videos that you make, you're not bragging about yourself. You're
Right.
bragging about the place and how
place,
amazing
yeah.
the place is. I barely see you like eating the food. You're just showing the place
Yeah,
and showing the
exactly.
people and the food that they serve. So I mean that's the beauty of it, I guess. And another thing is, if you want to be a traveling vlogger, start in your city, like start in your place. Do a traveling vlog of your sari sari store around the corner. Talk about what they offer and who's the guy, and how to get there, and things like that. But yeah, what is the next step for you? Are you planning to do this for a long time? What is the next step for you, Kuya?
Well, for YouTube, because I use YouTube as my avenue because we're online now, and instead of posting my video somewhere else, I will post my activities and videos about what I teach on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I think I would continue to do that on YouTube. On Instagram, I'm planning to deactivate. That's why I'm so happy that you reached out to me before even deactivating Instagram.
Wait, why?
So, I think that is for me, that was a personal decision. Because sometimes I would like to I'm asking myself, like, why am I so pressured to adhere to the standards of Instagram. I think Jed, if you are with me on this, and even Waka and CB, that sometimes posting a particular picture would take a lot of time and pressure for you. Like, is this the right angle? Is this the right caption? Is this the right? And I'm starting to get paranoid over it. Like, am I posting it right? And for my sanity, I don't want it anymore.
Okay.
Good thing that you
Makes
mentioned
sense.
that, because I think it was just last night or the other night. So I was scrolling through the Instagram posts for my friends and all those, and it's like, God, they really post great photos. So I went over my photos and it's like, what?
Exactly.
Deleting a lot of photos. It's like, oh my God, this is so cheap. Oh my God, I look so funny here. And I was like, I was using my friends as like my I was comparing myself to the other girls, to the other photos, and
Here, here.
seriously,
Mm.
you don't feel a lot of pressure. and
True.
and that is why I haven't posted anything lately, because I was like, oh, this is not Instagrammable. This is not.
Instagram.
Me
Instagrammable.
too. We are
This
on
is
that
not half the
together.
standards of
Wow.
Instagram.
Like my last post was, I think, 2 weeks ago. A very long time, because I mean, Instagram must make me happy, but during at this moment, parang I'm not anymore, and my sanity is being affected by it. Like, why do I need to be pressured about? I'm 40, for God's sake. I must be living carefree. Like, come on, I'm not care about that anymore. But Instagram is, yeah. I think they have really high standards on what to post on Instagram, and that's why I'm really I think I'm thinking about it, of deactivating it. And I don't have Facebook, right? I
Oh.
don't have Facebook. I don't have, because the same reason. I have TikTok, because in TikTok, I think it allows us to know. I mean, there's no pressure. You can goof around.
Yeah.
I
Because
think I
you
should
can
do that
swipe
too,
up and
to save my sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes,
should
let's do that.
deactivate my
But no,
Facebook and
Jen,
Instagram.
no. You need Instagram to promote your channel.
Yeah,
Remember that.
yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Like, I don't, my personal Instagram, I don't post anything. Well, besides that, I don't have time to post any in any of it. I just focus on the TMFS, like in all of it. Like, I post
True.
in the Facebook, the Instagram, and YouTube and TikTok and all that. That's all I'm focusing now, because it's like I don't have time to do my personal stuff. Like, now I'm just gonna do
It is
this.
a whole name, by the way. The TM
TMFS.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought it was a different thing.
Yeah, it's the Maximum Filipino show.
Ah, yeah.
What? What did you thought it was?
The one show. That's,
He was watching
that was
our video.
that was
Come on.
when we were in the Forbidden app. That's what people thought the name. It's
Yeah.
the TMFS.
Always.
Always. But I'll take it though. Like, if you think that's the name,
Yeah.
it's all right. I'll take it. It is though.
Cool. It's cool.
It is the Mofo show.
Come on. Come on.
It was actually, we never realized that it's the motherfucker. Somebody, until few people were mentioning it and thinking that was really what it meant. But it never occurred to us that, seriously, CB, you never thought of it, right?
No, not
we
at
just
all.
like, we were so surprised when somebody said, "Are you the mother?"
Yeah.
But
Who's
it's fits,
this
because
TMFS?
if you're bold and brazen in this channel, or in this particular, like, iPod, what do you call
Podcast.
that? Podcast. Sorry,
Yeah.
old guy here. Then that would fit. I mean,
Yeah.
the mother show. I mean, come on, that's cool.
Isn't
That's
that
cool.
awesome?
Yeah.
Oh,
It could be
man.
like also known as.
Also known as, yeah, because that's us.
Diba?
That's the Filipinos. We are that.
Yeah, pero I guess you must not delete your Instagram. I think, CB, you must maintain your Instagram for the TM, the show. It would help you. It would help you in
Show.
promoting your videos. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah. So you said
you
to
need to
maintain it.
Yes, I
Oh
think
yeah,
you-
yeah. We're gonna keep those, because it's
Right.
the whole goal of the other apps like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram is to bring them to YouTube. Like, all the
YouTube.
clips that we're doing, or the pictures, so all the reels and short clips are to bring them to YouTube. Like, we'll do a small clip about our podcast, and then if they ask, hey, where do I find, how can I watch the the whole show, oh, go to YouTube, this is our link, and you can watch it. You can know about you and the stuff that you do and things like that. But yeah,
Invite me once you get monetized. I have just been monetized, I think, last week.
Sure.
who
Yes, just last week on YouTube. I have just been
Wow,
monetized.
really
congratulations,
nice?
Jed.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, but it is not that easy,
It
Jed.
is
I
not.
mean,
It's not.
I was able to have 4,000, I think 4,700 subscribers on YouTube a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
But the watch hours would have to be the problem.
Yeah.
Like you need to
How
have
long
1,000
how
watch
long did
hours.
it take you? How long did
A
it take you, like
year.
from the creation of your account until, I mean, the creation of your channel until you?
From the creation of my channel a long, long time ago. But when I started posting videos religiously, I
Yeah.
think a year and a half.
Oh,
That
wow.
long.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a
Oh.
long
Yeah.
time.
Do
You know, because see me, Jed, my contents are like boring, like education. Like who watches about education on YouTube? They
Yeah,
want something
yeah.
fun like this one.
Yeah.
Which I think what you must do is just to promote this, and then
Yeah.
you'll get there. You'll get there. I'm
Oh, I
sure.
appreciate
Because
that,
you guys
man.
are cool. You guys are
Yes.
cool. Come
Yes.
on.
He's talking about me, Jed, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah, I would not really lie because I was able to binge watch your, as I told you a while ago, and
Yeah.
your points are cool.
Dude, I appreciate that. Yes, I do.
So you deserve traction. You deserve to be
Right,
heard by a lot
right.
of people.
Yeah. The one good thing though about what we're doing, and I told Jed this long time ago, there's not really a podcast form or this kind of form in the Philippines. Like we're one of the
Right.
few new people or first people who start doing this, and I know there's gonna be a I don't know, like a flow of people who's gonna start doing this in the Philippines, because we don't have things like this, a vodcast and podcast. We only do vloggings, we do pranks,
Right.
prank videos, but not like this.
Even the famous podcasters, they don't really get that much of views. So I think it's a compliment that we are getting a lot of views, because we are watching some famous podcasters, and then I'm looking at the numbers of views that they have. And I was like, oh, so it's an accomplishment for us to actually
Yeah.
Yeah.
get the number of views, because podcast is really like a new thing for Filipinos. Every time
Sure.
I mention like we're doing podcasts, and they'd be like, what is
What?
that?"
Yeah, right.
Ano?
What is that?
Ano yun? Yeah,
Radio ba yun?
really excited. They get really excited when we say like we are on YouTube. We have YouTube videos, and they'd be like, "Oh, YouTube!" So they get so excited.
Yeah.
And when I start, playing the videos, and they'd be like, "What?
Yeah.
What are they talking about?"
Yeah. Yeah.
But it feels nice to be like to watch our videos because it's like listening to conversations of friends, like ganon,
Yes.
parang like
Yeah.
discussing. Because the problem with mainstream YouTubers or what do you call those who are doing podcasters?
Yeah.
Is that if once you are very famous, you're being the lesser freedom you have about the topics that you would speak about.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about listening to like new up and coming podcasters, because they're authentic,
No
they're not
filters.
scared, and then they don't care. Just they're really
I see.
here to express their thoughts, which I think
More
is what
authentic,
people
more
would really
genuine.
go for.
Yeah,
right?
that's us. That's us. And I told him
That's
that
you.
in podcasts or whenever we have guests, we do not prepare any questions per se. Like I don't want it to look like a
script or like
scripted. That you go to Ellen DeGeneres show and you have these points that you want to
I'm
ask.
so sorry I asked you about it.
Oh no,
CB. That's why you did that
that's fine.
response.
That's fine. But we try to prepare. We don't want to just wing everything. Like we want to get to know our guests too, so we can have more relatable questions. But we set up topics, we set up conversations, because
Right.
we just want to hang out with you. We just want to get to know you, and the people that watches this video want to know that there's Filipinos like you exist. And we have different avenues. We're not just Filipinos who are nurses or OFWs or sings or dances. Like we have different kinds of Filipinos all around the world. Even
Right.
though some Filipinos that dances and on TikTok, Jed hates them. that's fine. You know,
Really, Jed? You
she
hate
doesn't like
them?
Bella Porch.
For real? You hate them? Be honest.
Just one in particular.
Just one in
But,
particular.
but for you to hate, you must have watched a lot of videos of them as well. Come on. Come
Got
on.
caught.
Yo,
Got
he's
caught.
exposing you.
Got caught.
You cannot hate on something that you have no experience about. Come on.
No,
Yo.
he is again generalizing it. I'm not liking one person in
I love it.
particular.
I love it. Yo, I miss you,
That's a
Jed.
different thing.
I know.
Hating and not liking are two different things. I have to agree with you, Jed. You're
Right,
you're
hating and
not
Not
liking,
It's not
that's
really
right.
hating.
That's right. that video of you not liking Bella Porch is one of our most viewed videos on
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Thought that was funny.
I would support you on that,
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, look at them! You got a fan on not liking Bella Porch.
Told ya.
But to each his own. Whatever float your boat, it's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, if come on, you guys are working hard for this, and you have a lot of substance and coolness in you, and yet, and then you would see somebody just like doing that, and it is very frustrating. But my advice is don't give up. Don't give up. Just continue what you're doing. And you know what? I think the success of any podcast or vlogger or whatever is not that they would get instant success, but they also love what they do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why
Sure.
they would continue on even though there are like few viewers. Like who
Oh,
cares
man.
without
Yeah.
doing this?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
seriously.
That's true.
Our goal is really not for fame. We're not after
Yeah.
fame. We're after I don't know, it started with us wanting to just bond.
Yeah.
Actually,
True.
the whole
True.
team. We wanted to have other venues where we can still hang out,
Mhm.
and we're not just limited to one forbidden app.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
it's just basically we just wanted to hang out and we wanted to expand the circle, wanted to have more friends and get to know more people. So
Mm.
And the value of whatever you put in the internet would have to be based on how many viewers you have, but on the enjoyment that you feel whenever you're doing it. So when you're enjoying it, then by all means do
Right.
it.
No,
Mm.
seriously. No, because that's the whole idea. Where we're talking, we're hanging out. I'm like, we have substantial topics and conversations here. Why don't we record it and post it on
Right.
Facebook and YouTube, and let's
right,
see
and
if people
we
will
are
like it.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every
And the full benefit of it is we get to meet people like you
Yes.
that we don't know, like, oh, you exist and you do this kind of stuff and it's amazing. I want other, I want my friends know who you are because you do this kind of stuff, and also encourage other Filipinos, like, they've been wanting to do this kind of stuff but they don't know how to, and then they get to meet you, they get to know how you start and how you do your stuff, and hopefully it will encourage you watching this to start your own content creation, because it's not really late. It's not too late. You can be 12 years old as long as your parents are involved, or you can be 50 and if you want to do content creation, do it. I watch this content.
I hate you.
What? That was.
How dare you?
Kuya, I intentionally said 50, okay? I intentionally said 50.
Like when you said it's never too late. So, oh my goodness, so we're gonna go there.
No.
It's like it's never too late. I was like, okay.
Yeah, we're going there.
You shot yourself on the foot.
I didn't even say your name.
You shot yourself on the foot for that one, bro.
I didn't even say your name.
It's okay. But you
It's
know
an
what? Kidding
encouragement.
aside, levity aside, my dear fans, I think you're right, CB. It is never too late. It's for everybody, And I think I
Right.
forgot to mention that a while ago when you asked me about the secrets.
Yeah.
The secret, I think the most important thing I forgot. I'm so sorry. Is that you must love what you do, right?
Yeah.
Because when you love
Right.
what you do, without even viewers, with only a few viewers, you will still continue doing it. You will
Right.
still love it.
Yeah.
And in my case, I love doing it. Like I enjoy editing my videos. I enjoy doing voiceovers.
Nice.
I enjoy sharing what I
Nice.
was able to experience. That's
Good.
why I do it.
And you're
Right.
really good at it, bro. You man,
Thank you.
it's
Thank
very
you. It
you-
takes a lot of practice. Like one video
Yeah.
in YouTube, like a 5-minute video on YouTube would take me 2 days.
Mm,
Legit, 2 days.
right,
Man.
On
right.
TikTok, one video
Yeah.
would take me like 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Ganun.
Did we
that
freeze?
includes editing or
I think so.
Hey, are we freezing? Or can you guys see us? Oh.
Oh.
Connection. We lost
Like
connection.
days. days.
Okay,
Oh,
there
hold
we
on.
go.
Sorry, we
And
lost connection.
that really did take long.
Mm,
We
wow.
lost connection.
No, no,
Jed, no, wala daw sila.
I think
No, no,
we're back.
we're good now.
We're back.
No, we're good
We're
now.
back.
We're good.
We're
Sorry,
back.
sorry, we're good.
We're
Now. We're good now.
Yeah.
We just didn't
As
hear
I
like
was saying-
the past 10 seconds that you said.
Oh yeah, as I was saying, whenever I would have videos on YouTube, like 1 5-minute video would take me like 2 days of preparation.
Oh wow.
Script writing,
Wow.
shooting,
Yeah.
editing, and everything. For
Yeah.
TikToks, I think
Create
for
a-
a 15-second video, it would take me like 3 hours.
Requires a lot
Yeah.
of effort.
No, but-
yes,
And
because
love
I,
for
I,
your
I
craft.
respect my viewers, and I think if you would respect your
Right.
viewers, you would be diligent in doing that.
Yeah, but your storytelling skills is phenomenal, and I think that's what hooked. When you're doing your voiceover.
Now I'm intrigued
promoting-
and I want to watch his
Yeah,
videos.
yeah, promoting these places and these businesses. Your storytelling skills is phenomenal, and I think that's what
Nako,
hooked people.
mahirap yun, CB. Wakay, it was very difficult because
At first,
practice.
I've been
Mhm.
No, I
Dami.
believe you. I believe you.
it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask because before when we were going out hanging out with my friends, and then we go to a lot of places and eat, and we wanted to like make critics for food and make a like a food blog or something, like a food journey, but we are all me personally, because they want me to do the video, and then I'm really hesitant, like even just taking a selfie. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
oh my god, this is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like people are watching me. So
Yeah.
how did you get the courage to just film it and then just talk, and then I don't mind people watching or listening to me? So how
Mahirap
long?
talaga. Yes.
Real, like,
Especially in the Philippines.
especially
In the Philippines, we have, in the Philippines, we have
Yeah.
persons who are really highbrows. Like, come on,
Right,
parang
right.
kumain ka na
People
lang,
will-
mga ganun.
Right, right.
Especially for women and women like me. Especially for women, they'd be like, oh my god, what she's doing.
Yeah.
Like, they would stereotype you and think that you're just, one of those people that, wanted to be famous and all those sorts. So I never had the courage. I never had
You are even lucky. You are lucky, Jed, because you have friends around. Can you imagine me? I eat alone.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So that is a double whammy. Like, he eats alone. He takes pictures of his food. Like, he's a total loser. Like,
really?
So
Oh
wait,
my
hold up. So when you travel by yourself?
no. I'm with my friends, but
Okay.
in the Philippines,
Mhm.
because I don't have much friends in the Philippines, and the pandemic, right? I
Mhm.
always eat alone.
Mm,
So
Do you
whenever I
need
would,
an eating buddy.
an eating buddy.
come on home.
You're right, exactly. Come visit him. You're probably like close, live close to each other. How about that? Do a food vlogging with each other.
Di ba? Kaya nga, Jen is even luckier to have friends with her
Yeah.
around her to support her. Like, she would not seem like to be a crazy woman doing that.
You don't know her that well yet.
No,
No,
not yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, this is the first time that someone said I'm not crazy. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself.
You're just a little unwell. I know.
But looking at somebody like me, like
know what you did there.
I'm turning 40, and then I'm eating alone, and then I'm taking photos and videos of my food. Then I would have a lot of judgment. Because I think in the Philippines we have to admit that people would look at you in a different way.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I guess that is why I don't do I do my voiceover after I shot the video. Well, while taking the video, I'm quiet, because I think that would be a triple whammy if ever I would be speaking.
Yeah,
So I would just
yeah.
take the video and then edit it later, then put my voiceover.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of practice, and
And you're good
I
at it,
don't
bro.
know.
I mean, I think I do understand about the stigma, of the content creation, because you said you have this double whammy and stuff, and then an additional thing is if you do it in English, like this whole
Yeah,
stigma in
true.
the Philippines when you speak English, they're like, oh, he's trying to be social, he's trying to be this and
True.
that. So
True.
yeah. But you're that voiceover, and then you're doing the history of the place
The
and
whole-
what you find in there. It's awesome. It's really catchy, and it's relatable not just to Filipinos but also to non-Filipinos, because they're like, oh, there's a business like that in the Philippines, and they offer this, and they exist this long period of time, and they have amazing food. Yeah, it's really good.
Hard
There's a lot
freaking
to
work.
your TV.
Hard work.
Right. If you're here in the Philippines, you would definitely do the same because it makes you feel proud as a Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you visit a place and you would love the food or you would love the place, you'd be like, "Oh my God, we have this place in the
Yeah.
Philippines." Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
True. True.
makes you feel proud as a Filipino.
Mm.
So it's like, this is really worth vlogging, or this is really worth posting on social media, uh, things like that. So yeah,
But it's hard work doing the voiceover. Like you have to repeat. Like for me, at least 10 times, I would erase everything
Really?
and do it again.
Oh
Yes,
wow.
That makes
because
sense. Yeah.
sometimes people like in the Philippines, the Filipinos are very critical in everything, like the way
Mm-hmm.
you speak,
right.
Yeah.
like the way you pronounce words, and then
Mm-hmm.
if your nose is stuffy,
A
they would
single
comment on that.
mistake and a single mistake, and they will never forget that. Like
Yes,
with all the
true.
things that you said that was right, I mean, they
Uh-huh.
will totally forget it, and then
Yeah.
just one
Yeah.
True.
That one
mistake,
wrong thing.
one single
Mm-hmm.
mistake.
And even the quality of your voice, like somebody commented like stuffy nose, in Tagalog sip one yarn, like what?
I had the same mentality when I was in Philippines until I moved here, and I realized when I talk to Americans, they're the same way. Like, they their structure of words and sentences in English is like that's the wrong word for that, and then I realized like. Why should I be conscious of the way I speak? Because these people are not conscious the way they speak. So I'm like,
Right.
who cares?
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody has the
Only in the
monopoly of the
Philippines.
language.
Yes.
Yes.
Totally
Yes.
The
understand.
language you speak becomes your own.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
nuances of
Right.
it,
As long as you're
the
able to
sound of
express
it.
what
Yeah.
you really feel,
Mm.
right?
Yes, just express it. Like language is for expression, not to impress anybody else.
Oh,
Like
that's
whose standards are
awesome.
we following? Like
That's awesome.
embrace the nuances of your own language.
Yeah.
Come on,
Mm.
because I was an English teacher before, and I would oftentimes teach. No, come on, pronunciation.
I like how
You have your own.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the
Yeah.
nuances of your own language. It's yours.
Right,
Embrace
right,
it.
right, right. Let me ask you this, Kuya. For people like Jed, who's not too fond of reading books, my wife is the same way. She doesn't
Mhm.
she doesn't like reading books, and they want to get into reading books. What are some of the authors maybe or books that you can recommend? Like, I mean, we wouldn't want them to read like Friedrich Nietzsche. Like, read this and you'll get into books.
no.
Because
I think
no,
it's
that
hard
that's
with
not the book.
Why not? I mean,
Why not? Look at-
Why not? But what would be the
Maybe-
books
I
that they
think
should
you
read?
start with what type of genre or what kind of
Hold on,
book
I'm
are you
asking
into?
our guests. Hold up, I'm asking our guest. It's a literature
But
instructor.
Jen is making sense.
Yeah.
She's right.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
guess she's right.
it's so hard to answer that question if you need to know the person first.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it has to be personalized. I don't think you can recommend any
So what really
book for-
interests you, I guess? What
Mm.
what is your what are your interests? Because whatever you
Facts.
want to read, I mean whatever your interest is, then by all
Mhm.
means you would find a book about it. Like
Yeah.
about cooking, you can read
non-fictional,
yes, medium raw.
non-fictional facts.
Bourdain. I think
Uh,
Bourdain.
Oh,
Do you know
Bourdain is a good book. Yeah, Bourdain is a good
Yes,
book.
yeah.
No,
Medium
for
medium
sure.
medium rare. If you want food, then
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah,
If you
Bourdain
want
is a good book.
I'd prefer having them
or
like
to eat the food.
because I might eat the book.
So I think the key is that find what is your interest and then start from there.
Right.
Like if you
Like
want
inspires
a manga,
me.
then read
Mhm.
manga, and then
Yeah.
as you read more, you would develop it. You would develop your taste in reading because
Yeah.
as for me, I used to love books before, but like right now I don't like them anymore because I was able to improve.
Mhm.
I mean to develop my taste on it.
Mm,
Just start from where you are
yeah.
and
Mm.
don't feel pressured about it. Remember that if you don't feel like reading, that is not the end of the world because right now, especially in our century, we can get information from a lot of sources, not
Mm.
only books. But
True.
if you really want to read books, then start from where you are and then develop from it. And of course, I think you should also consider like what type of material would you want. Like, would you want poetry? Would you want short stories? Would you want novels? Would you want drama? Would you
Right.
want whatever? And then test the waters. I think that's it. Test the
That's
waters.
right.
Makes sense.
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
And also make time. Because it's just like any other hobbies, you make time of doing it. When because you said
Yeah.
you don't have time to do it, you will never find time to read books. you make time.
True.
Yeah.
You make time.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
right.
right now with my kids, Adeline, the kid who's sitting right next to me earlier, she's 4, and I started reading the Diary of a Wimpy Kid because I love those books. I love the whole
Oh,
series,
I love
and I
that.
want her
Yeah.
to get into it, and she loves it. She
My
loves,
son loves that
she
too.
she loves the book, and maybe not Captain Underpants because that's too much, but just just the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and that's how we started. I have a pile of books in here that I want them to get into.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That's my favorite childhood book.
Weren't you scared?
She
That's
has a
kind of
very
negative for a child to have.
she has a very dark side, just so you know. She
Oh,
does.
the emo side is now
Yes,
is now
yes,
rising.
it is.
Yeah, I mean,
It is. Like,
anyway, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's a good thing. I think exposing your
Love it.
kids to books would also would also help them to love books as
Yeah.
well. Exposure is also one of the keys.
do you remember your very first book that you like? I'm gonna be a bookworm because of this book.
You know, I'm kind of a nerd. That's why I started reading the encyclopedia from A to Z.
Yeah.
And then every time, yeah, I'm that
I
kid.
knew
I'm
it.
that kind of kid.
Wow.
Like for example, Monday I would go to
I knew
school
it.
carrying letter A, and then the next day I'm carrying letter B, and then I'm gonna ask my
Seriously,
friend.
I had that moment when I was young. I guess I was in
Encyclopedia as well.
grade school. I was in
Uh-huh.
grade school. It's interesting that you get to know, like, you start from A and
Yeah.
this is this word, and then
True.
another word, and you feel like, okay, where did I stop? And then you get to learn another word, and you keep recalling those words that you have learned before, and
No,
you
I
wanted
practice with my classmates. Like aardvark.
to.
Do you know aardvark is an animal? And that is the first
It
word in the
makes you
encyclopedia.
feel-
Aardvark.
Advert.
Advart.
It makes you feel so proud that you get to know a new word that they don't,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like a
Like bragging
moment for you.
rights.
I
Yeah.
thought it
bragging
was
rights.
I thought it was just Eminem because
I don't
Eminem
know
will take a
that.
dictionary and he'll read all
Yeah.
his words, but
And you will
you
always
encyclopedia
use the
that's like the next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Wow. Wow. Are you
It's interesting, actually. It's really interesting.
are you also avid movie goer?
I would say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah. Because
But
it's usually
I'm a bit critical about the movies I watch. Like, I
Ah,
don't,
Ooh.
you would love to be with this guy.
yeah. Is it because of
like every time I would watch, I would like to analyze afterwards. Like, what's that? Or, oh, come on.
No, because
Yeah.
I'm the same way with books. Like, and I think it affected the way I watch movies. Because when I read books and I want to know if the book is interesting or not, I'll read the introduction and I'll read the conclusion. Like the
Let
first
me
part.
get back at you, CB. What is the most underrated film in the world?
Man, that's a lot. We love we love
Come
movies.
on, I said something. Come on, hindi po
underrated
pwedeng hindi wala ka.
underrated
Underrated?
movie. The people
Underrated.
that a lot of people
Or is
love.
it easier for you to say what your
even
favorite
harder.
is?
That's even harder to answer compared to asking for the overrated one. It's harder to answer the underrated.
So the movie, because the movie and the book is really amazing. The first movie that popped in my head, it's underrated, it's Ender's Game, because the book is amazing. Like I wanted them to go with it, but it just flopped. But that's, I think, one of the underrated movies that I know. The first movie that we watched together in the Philippines is
Monsters in the Attic.
no, the John
Carter.
John Carter is another
Carter.
underrated movie. It's a Disney
You
film.
like it?
Yeah, I love it. We both love it,
Yeah,
and,
it's
and a lot of
awesome. I
people
like it.
didn't like it, which is I was like,
Yeah, it
I
flopped,
guess
yeah.
I know. It's like I guess I understand why, but I think it's an underrated movie in my opinion. In Disney films, there's a lot of underrated films, and
True.
like
Very.
yeah. I don't know about overrated though. Because there's so many. There's so many overrated
that's
films.
true.
It's like, yo, this shouldn't be a good movie.
Mine was Kill Bill, Volumes 1 and 2 by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh,
I think
wow.
those films would really, I think
Mm.
they're underrated. I love Quentin
Right.
and
Oh yeah.
Right.
Kill
Oh, yeah.
Bill. Although but I think Jed,
Especially in the
the
Philippines.
Waka and CB are young. That's why maybe they're not familiar with
Hey, I'm
Quentin Tarantino.
I'm 30.
I'm 33.
He's 33.
You've got to be kidding me, you guys.
Yeah. So I'm there, okay? I'm there. I know I love Quentin.
I was saying, these kids are cool. You're not kids anymore.
No, I'm 30.
you did not bother correcting me about you being kids.
No, I'll take it. It's
No, we're
okay.
good.
Yeah, I'm a
I don't
kid.
mind.
I'm a kid.
I don't mind.
I act like a kid too. So
That is why whenever we talk about ages, it feels awkward why you're the only one who's reacting negatively about it when the three of us actually belong
Because
to
I
like
was
the
thinking
old.
you are
Yeah.
like all of you are young kids. I'm calling
No.
you kids.
no, we're
Come on.
we're millennials. Yeah, we're there.
And you
Yeah,
are
we're
not
right
even
there.
correcting me about it. I mean, come on.
You're
What is
good.
your plan?
About
You're
the,
good.
the comic book, and then he reacts about it, comparing it to manga, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I'm turning
Don't
31
worry.
next month. So yeah, it's
I'm not
we're
waiting
there.
for my birthday. I'm 33 right now.
Yeah,
So
we're there. Yeah. I love
I'll be 32.
I love Quentin. I think Quentin needs to be up there in the pedestal. All his movies, man, they're all Inglorious Bastards, Hateful Eight, all of them. They're amazing books. Kill
He has
Bill.
one more to do, I think.
Pulp Fiction.
According to him, he has one more to do because before he retires, he plans on making 10 films, and that's it.
Oh,
So
really?
he has one more.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we have to wait for the last Quentin Tarantino film. I
But
guess.
he's so consistent though. Like his films, if you describe Quentin Tarantino's movies, almost all of them are the same thing. Like the genre. and-
Unapologetic.
Yes.
Very
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like if you watch Pulp Fiction, I'm like, where is this movie going? Like what is
Come on,
happening
yes.
right now? But it's
Yes, yes,
amazing.
yes.
Django Unchained. I'm like, yo, yes, give me more.
Because he's not scared. Quentin was not scared. He's not scared. I mean, because most directors now are really scared, and they would really please everything, the woke crowd, everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
Right,
Quentin is not
right.
scared.
Right.
And I
right.
think in movies,
sometimes- And sometimes it loses the quality of the movie or the story just because they wanted it to fit into the majority or
Yeah,
true.
what
Yeah.
the audience like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's his he just wants to like show the story because he wants it that way, not because
Yes.
he wants to please the audience. So
Yes,
in the
true.
Philippines, Kill Bill is not. I mean, only a few, especially if you're into action movies and action those kind of genre. But if you're gonna like mention Kill Bill to people,
Nobody knows it.
No.
what's
Yeah.
that?
Like now.
What is
But
that?
if you talk about the Avengers or
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
Yeah, they
True.
know all of them.
everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Spider-Man."
Yeah.
True.
Do you like since you like books, do you like Bob Ong? What's your opinion about Bob Ong?
I was able to read all of his books before before Ang Mga Multo ni Stella. Hindi ko na yun
Yes,
nabasa.
yes,
Pero
okay.
yung mga earliest books niya, I was able to read all of them. At that time of reading, I enjoyed it. At that time of reading.
Right, right.
But as I mature as a reader, I think my taste changed already. But the mystery of Bob Ong is still one of the most interesting part of his creation.
Yeah.
Like, who is Bob Ong? Like, nakakabasa na pala ako. And then also ang paboritong libro ni Judas. But I think for me, my favorite was Alamat ng Gubat. That was my favorite because it was like symbolic.
Yeah, I agree.
We have to think about who is the matching, who is the
Yeah.
buhaya, yung mga
Yeah,
ganyan.
yeah.
So that is my favorite, Alamat ng Gubat. You
And
also read Bob Ong?
Oh, I love Bob Ong. I have all of them. So, I have the whole series. I left it in the Philippines because it's too heavy in my bag, so I can take it. I have a friend who visits America like almost every year. So I ask her, hey, can you buy me the whole series of Bob Ong? So I have them. I have the whole book. I
How
have
was the
whole
Mga
series.
Multo? I think yung what is
Oh,
the
it's
title?
it's
Mga Multo.
scary. It's really scary.
really?
Yeah, it's scary. Like his genres of his books just change. Like in all of them.
interesting.
Like if you go from Aba nakakabasa na pala ako to
MacArthur, perhaps.
yeah, MacArthur. It's like all, the genres are everywhere. Like you go to MacArthur, who's so dramatic and so
diverse.
tragic, and then you go to the Alamat ng Gubat, who's so fun and childish, but it's
Fun,
it's
yes.
deep. It's his genre is crazy, which I think, in my opinion, I think Bob Ong is not just a one person. It's a
Yes, true. That is
collective.
one of the
Yeah, it's a
tama.
collective of
One of
many
the
authors.
theories.
As an artist, that is a really hard. What do you call this? It's really hard to pull that off because most of the
True.
artists, even the singers, even if they try to create a new piece, it will always go back to like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, oh, this has repeated or something like that.
Yeah,
They
Sure.
yeah.
always go. Even with me, like when I'm doing my paintings, my drawings, I'm trying to like create a different character, different facial expression, or
Mm-hmm.
but and after I'm done with my piece, I'd be like,
You go back
oh my
to
god, it's
the
the
old
Yeah,
same
you.
face.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah, the same features, and it always goes. And then some of my friends have noticed that most of the faces that you have created resemble to
The same,
your
yeah.
Yeah.
facial features, and I didn't notice that. So
Mm-hmm.
with Bob Ong, it's so diverse,
Yeah,
which
it
is
might be
really,
Oh
like a
yeah.
and
lot of
that's so challenging,
writers.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so challenging to like think of a different story, think of a different, like a different world.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in
Yes, it's a
UST,
different
we
person.
invited somebody who knows Bob Ong, but at the end of the conference, he did not spill the beans. Like he did not even say who Bob Ong
Oh
was.
really?
Yeah, hindi niya
Really?
sinabi. That is the
Mm.
mystery of Bob Ong really. But
Mm.
it makes sense now that you mentioned it, CB. I think and Jed, I think tama kayo na it is very diverse. Like
Mm-hmm.
from Alamat ng Gubat and then MacArthur, which is so dark and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it must
Medyo
have been
palata.
Bob O must have been a lot of people,
Yeah, it's
a lot of
gotta be. It's
person.
gotta be a collective of
Right.
many authors
True,
who
true,
are passionate in that side of genre. You know, like, hey,
true, true.
let's talk about this. Who's good at this kind of genre of writing? Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
guy's good at it. Okay, good. We'll have him focus on that. How about this? You know, I think it cannot be. It's hard to believe. I mean, I guess
That
one
he's
very
one person.
talented person can be writing a different genres of
Mhm.
books,
But I
but
guess the first
Right.
three is would
oh
share the same
yes,
thing. Like
yes,
aba nakabasa na pala ako, Libro ni Judas, tsaka
uh huh.
Stainless Longganisa
Yeah,
would have the
and
same
also
theme. But when
because the
MacArthur appears, parang
yeah,
iba
because
na.
the first the aba nakabasa na pala ako, and then what was the second book, the yellow one, and he used the artwork from Pugad Baboy.
Bakit baliktad magbasa ng
Oh
librong
yes,
Baliktad.
Pilipinas?
yep,
Yeah,
yeah, bakit
Filipino,
ba,
yes.
yeah. And that book, they're almost have the same genre because it's fun, it's interesting, it's more of a storytelling, and then after that he shifted. And his shift is not like a
Yeah.
gradual shift; it's like a total left field. You know,
Abrupt, very abrupt. Like,
very abrupt.
MacArthur is like, what?
I know, like that book is what is happening right now. You know,
Like the first chapter is like him doing things that I cannot imagine him
right?
doing. Like,
No, seriously, because it's a bunch of friends who's doing drugs. Like what? You know?
like swallowing things from something. Like, oh my
Right,
goodness.
right.
No.
Yeah, and then you go to that the scary book. It's like, oh, and then the recent one, I haven't read it. I have it. It's the Sino. I don't know that book yet. It's I heard it's really good.
Kapitan Sino?
Capitan Sino. Yeah,
Capitan Sino.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
But I just hope Waka could read it because I know he will love it. It's just in full.
But you know, it's
full
in
Tagalog.
Filipino.
Yeah, it's
I
full
mean, yeah,
Filipino.
it's in Filipino.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you
it
would
would
love
be
it.
hard for him.
And the reason why I asked that, do you think we have the same caliber of literary writings in the Philippines that you could say this should be the J.K. Rowling or the or
Stephen
C.S.
King.
Lewis or Stephen King kind of type of writing?
Seriously.
This is a trap once again.
Because you're a literature instructor. What do you think?
Well, I would say that we cannot compare oranges to apples. These
No.
they're very different because
Yeah.
the Philippines, we have a different culture. We
Yeah.
have a different we have different everything.
Yeah.
So comparing writers from the West and comparing writers in the Philippines would be like comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah.
But in terms of caliber, we have great writers in the Philippines. That is one thing for certain.
Yeah.
We have great writers in the Philippines, but I think the ones who are popular are not the ones who would I say relatively great. Because I think the readership also matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for example, the readers of certain books that would not qualify as something great would be greater than those readers who would want to read something great.
Gotcha.
Are you? I mean,
Gotcha.
but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
each his own. Whatever
Yeah.
floats your boat. If you want Wattpad, then by all means read Wattpad.
Yeah.
But I think
I was supposed to ask you about Wattpad.
yes, Wattpad. But if you really want to read great works of literature, I don't think Wattpad is the avenue for that. But there's nothing wrong with
Not at
Wattpad.
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I
Totally.
guess in terms of caliber, they are not not popular. They are not
Mm-hmm.
well known, primarily because they only have a few readership.
Yeah.
It is only
And
exclusive to a
Yeah.
few in the academe perhaps, or in the critic circle. But remember,
Yeah.
it is all business. At the end of the day, what sells is what is important, right? So
That's
right.
that is
right.
sad,
That's
but
right.
in terms of high caliber writers, we
Yeah.
have them,
Yeah.
we have.
I guess you're right because
Mhm.
the typical Filipinos is not there yet. We had Senator the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago is trying to
Miriam.
push
Mhm.
push the common Filipinos to read books and to learn more and to listen instead of just stick on your TV and watching or doing something. And she's like just pushing every Filipinos to like
Mhm.
learn something and level up your life or your intellectual skills and things like that because your type of person, your type of Filipino is rare. I don't want to say rare, but uncommon in the Philippines. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like the book readers, the book lovers,
Oh.
the ones that read different kinds of books, different kinds of genres in the Philippines. Like I asked a lot of my friends and they know Bob Ong, but they don't read Bob Ong. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Bob Ong became famous here in the Philippines because of his quotes. It's been
Mhm.
spread
The Bob
throughout
Ong quotes,
social
yeah,
media.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mga maiksi
And
lang
then his
kasi.
right,
movie,
right.
I mean, his Aba Nakakabasa na pala
Mas na
ako
pala
has
ako.
been
Mm-hmm.
adapted as well on Netflix.
Yeah,
So,
But
yeah,
if you would think about it, everybody must have read Bob Ong, di ba? Parang for me, that's a basic thing.
right,
That
right, right,
Filipinos must have read him.
yeah, yeah. I mean, cause
but I
I
think
watched.
they've known, because for me, I've known him because of the quotes, and then that's when I got interested.
You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
because
not the other way around.
I watch Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings when I was in the Philippines, but I didn't
Mhm.
read the book until I moved here.
Mm.
Like because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like highly promoted to read books. Like in our classes, only when I was in senior fourth year high school when they required me to read a book. Like
Mhm.
I guess junior you have the Noli Me Tangere, you have that,
Mhm.
but
El
in
filibusterismo.
yeah, and fourth
Mhm.
year is El Filibusterismo, and some of the classes like they require you to read certain books, but it's not like in here in America they ask them to read Ender's Game. They ask them to read
Yeah.
what is the most sold books beside the Bible? The Don Quixote books. They
Don Quixote
require
de la
yeah
Mancha. Yeah.
yeah they require them to read that, but not in the Philippines. It's not being
We
pushed.
do.
No, I'm talking
I
We
about
think
like
do.
like in
But we are
common
not religiously
right
following it.
right.
right
But I think
exactly.
it has something to do with the educational system that we have,
Mm-hmm.
True.
especially during grade school. We are not really encouraging students to read books, or it's not being encouraged that much. Maybe because we don't have that much of supply of books. So
True.
and in
That is one.
school, instead of okay, you read this and we're gonna talk about it once you come to school. What happens is when you go to school, the teacher will read it for you, or
True.
you're gonna copy
True.
really long stories. You put it
Here,
in
here.
the yeah, brown paper and all those sorts. So reading then becomes tiresome because all kids are worn out
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
with all the activities. So there's no more time for reading. And yeah, the lack of materials. So and encouragement,
In my
both from
case,
parents
I
and
always encourage my students to read, but I also work smart. Like I
mm-hmm.
won't force them to do things that I know that they won't actually do.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And so
right,
what I would do is to remedy it by compromising,
mm,
because I cannot sleep at night knowing that they have not read the classics or the things that are required
mm,
of them to read.
right.
yeah,
Because
But
not
since I
everybody is
can
into reading.
yes, but since I can no longer force them to do that, what I do is that I find other ways on how for them to be aware of those stories, for them to appreciate it, even without
Right,
reading.
right.
So
yeah,
that is my way of doing so, because
Mm.
we tried it, CB, Waka, and Jed. We tried it. We tried
Mhm.
forcing reading into them, but to no avail.
Mm.
So I think the next step is to move forward. Plan B,
yeah,
right?
Mhm.
yeah,
Plan B.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Hold up.
and
So
and
I don't
that's
know.
actually a good.
I don't know if I agree necessarily on no material, because when I was in college and I wanted to read books, what I did was, and the library is not really that common around high school students. Like you don't see them
Yeah,
hanging
true.
out in libraries. They go to, you know, computer shops, or they do
Yeah.
something else. But when I was in college, I go to national bookstores and read their books. Like sometimes like the staff there will kick me out. It's like, hey, you can't do that. You have to buy the books. Like, well, I just like I tell them I just want to test the book if I like it or not before I buy it.
Yeah.
But I end up finishing the whole book, you know.
I have bad
Okay.
news for you, CB. I have bad news for you.
Uh-oh.
There are no books anymore in National Bookstore.
No
Wait,
way.
what?
They're
Really?
mostly
So what-
toys.
Yeah, school
They're
supplies
mostly
and
toys.
like no
is
books
that like
anymore.
a like
Really?
legit
Art
thing?
materials.
Yeah.
They're mostly toys, art materials. Yeah,
Wait,
it's
really?
not the
Yes.
kind of national bookstore that you were used to back
I
then.
hate to break it to you, no
Oh,
books
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
Oh,
more
wow.
like the gift stuff and
What? Because it doesn't.
artsy.
Because it doesn't sell. Is that
scrapbook.
why? Because
I'm not so sure because fully booked, I think, is very popular. Also, Power Books,
Yes.
but National Bookstore because I don't know. They don't sell that.
Fully
They don't sell much books. Like if you want to
Not
buy
anymore.
books, NBS is not the place to be.
Not even behind the counter, because I
Yeah.
remember going to the National Bookstore, then they will have the books behind them at the register.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that, like completely. They don't have books at all.
They have books, but not too many.
have-
Like you know.
Yeah, not
Not
as
too many.
much as before. It's more it's
Supply
being
store.
populated by art materials.
So what is it
Yes.
called?
I know.
National.
I think for the sake of the name, it doesn't give justice to the name National Bookstore if you only have a
Right.
few books on
Right.
display.
I see.
So yeah.
National School
Sad.
But
Supply
what I
Stores.
noticed, they always feature books like
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey. you
Yeah,
know,
true.
those type of
Mm.
books. They would always file that like the whatever is most
So-
popular during the time
I
or
see.
you know. in
So
a
bad
given
news
period.
for CB and Waka right
Oh
there.
my gosh.
They're gonna
Wow.
miss National
That's
my
Bookstore.
That's
place.
different. That's a big difference.
Yeah,
That's
bad
the place I
news.
hang
You can
out.
no longer have free
Yeah.
reading.
Not
Yeah, 'cause
anymore.
what
Maybe
I-
because of UCB.
Yeah, because
You're
what I do
the
is I
cost
ride
You're
my
the cost of it.
I ride my Jeep from
You
Jeepney
cost it, CB.
from from Malinta to Marilao, SM Marilao, and I go to that national bookstore, and then I ride my another Jeep from Marilao to Malolos, and then Malolos to Pampanga.
okay.
That's always my stop by. That's kind of sad. That's
Yeah,
really
they
sad.
feel
Yeah,
like
kinda sad.
the book get ruined before
I think
they're being sold.
we're counting the days of National Bookstore. I hate to I hate to
Oh, wow.
to say it, but I think we're counting the days of it.
Really?
Like, if you would visit a store, you would feel that is this like in some malls like MOA we still have like good branches, but in other branches like you would say, oh, it's just like going to close down very soon. Like I don't
Oh,
know.
wow.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that is
Right.
sad.
That is
sad.
crazy. That is-
There's
But
a lot
anyway.
of competitors.
Sorry to break your memories about
I know
NBS.
that made me so sad. I don't like this podcast no more. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love this podcast. I do.
That's a bit
This is-
extra, man.
this
Okay,
is-
that's
this is-
extreme.
This is a great podcast. Well,
This is awesome.
This is awesome, Kuya. We want to invite you again sometime and talk about other
Anytime.
things.
Yeah.
If because
Yeah.
you also into popular what did you send me? You said art, literature, and
Philippine pop culture.
Philippine pop
Yes.
culture. Does that
Ooh.
include like celebrities or what kind? Explain to me more about this Filipino pop culture.
Well, in Philippine pop culture class, we talk about what is popular in the Philippines as of the moment and the philosophical inclinations and societal inclinations of those things.
Gotcha.
And that is why in my YouTube channel, I also invited some famous TikTokers from the Philippines.
Oh wow.
Also, an American YouTuber, Puting Pinoy, who talked about Pinoy baiting and
Yeah, yeah.
the implications of YouTubers using Pinoy as
Yeah, I did see
clickbait,
that.
mga ganyan.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I think-
bathing is legit.
It is
Also,
legit,
it is a
yes.
thing.
And
It
if
is.
you would watch the
Right.
video of Puting Pinoy, it really makes sense because he's an American
Mhm.
living in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So that is very
Yeah.
interesting. And with TikTok, I interviewed Dr. Kinimanguru, which I think you know
Oh,
him.
really?
He's the doctor
Oh,
who would
wow.
really dance and
Yeah,
the doctor. He has
yeah.
more than 4 million followers. I think you chance upon his
Yeah,
videos.
right. Yeah, I do know him. Well,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
was
I
able to
know him.
interview him also, and then also a member of a boy band because I think in the Philippines boy bands are also
Oh my
the in
gosh.
thing.
Yes.
It's still a
he
thing.
was
Is
part-
it
I think-
Marlo? Did you invite? I'm just kidding.
No. I think you know the song. I think CB or maybe Jet. I'm not sure about Waka.
What
Yung isang
song?
sulyap mo. Yung sa isang
Oh,
sulyap
yeah,
mo ay nabihag
yeah.
ako. Para bang
Oh.
himala. Yung ganyan.
Nice.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to interview one of the band members who talked about the why
That's good.
are boy bands so
Nice.
popular in the Philippines, and
Nice.
the experiences of being a boy band member. I also was able to interview somebody who talks about pageants, because pageants are a big thing in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, the interesting part is that the one who I interviewed about pageants was also a transgender woman who believes that transgender women are not women. So that is a very interesting point.
Wow.
Oh,
No
wow.
way.
Yes,
Yo.
actually, yes.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Wow.
And actually, yes, I was
I
kind of
love
scared
that.
because in UST we're a bit conservative about certain
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
But for education,
Yeah.
so she was a transgender herself, but she's she's very firm in her belief that transgender women are not women, which I think in America is unheard of. Like in
Yeah,
America,
so
this is
unheard of.
very unheard of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
So,
sure.
yeah.
Okay.
And so in the Philippines, when I interviewed her, I mean, she was, yeah, it was an interesting interview. And
Okay.
also a famous TikToker who would feature food. So I mean, in our Philippine pop culture class, since I cannot teach everything, I would invite people around, and I would interview them and for them to give their points, and
Yeah.
ganun.
Nice.
So all about Philippine pop culture, may it be may it be
you,
social media,
When he
may it be
said
radio,
famous
movie, whatever.
TikToker who's posting food, I was like, okay.
Yeah, see,
Not the
Miss
famous
Miss Camille
TikToker.
Colmenares is one. I think her tagline was parang motherhood is life, catering is lifer, and TikTok is life is. Yung mga ganun, basta magaling din siya. More than 100,000 followers as well, and
That's
she
awesome.
posts good
Wow.
content.
That is awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you show your YouTube videos in your class?
Yes,
Okay.
I usually if because UST is not allowing anymore to invite outsiders in our Zoom account. So usually I would just use my personal account and interview them and record our conversation, and then
gotcha.
ask them
Nice.
to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, you found
And
a loophole.
for
You found a
example,
loophole.
it brings traction to my channel as well. So that's why I was monitoring.
Yeah, that's what they're using right now, CB. In our classes, the videos are actually in YouTube, and they even encourage us. Like, there are times that we are asked to pass like short films and those, and then they are actually encouraging us to post it on YouTube. And it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna post this on YouTube.
Oh my goodness, Jed, Waka and CB, I have an idea. We can have this again and talk about like a particular topic about Philippine culture. And I'm gonna ask my class to watch it on
Yeah.
your channel.
No, seriously.
Ooh,
Let's
that'd
do
be
it.
awesome.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we can do
That'd be
that.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm down.
Oh,
I'm down.
But Waka, CB, and Jed, since it is going to be for a class, I think we need to have a set of topics to discuss.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
We can do that. We can
Yeah.
collaborate, and I will allow you to post it on your YouTube, and I will ask them
Okay.
to,
Absolutely.
you know,
I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
We
I'm
can
down.
definitely do
watch
that.
it.
We can schedule that as soon as possible. Man,
By
we
all
love it.
means, yeah.
Yeah, we can talk more about some of the topics and some of the discussions that we can do. And I think Jed is really interested in doing it. I have never seen Jed so enlightened and so.
I'm gonna hear it
and,
we can talk about actually perceptions of Filipino Americans about the issues
Yes.
of the Philippines. Like,
We've
we can
been
do that
meaning
since you're there.
we have been meaning to talk about that, and all the I guess we can also talk about like the American culture and how is it, or Western culture, and how is it affecting our pop culture, because it's a big thing in the Philippines.
Right.
Western culture, and
Yeah.
when it comes to everything like celebrity content creation is really highly affected
Like,
by
how
Because
far
for a
are
time we were
now?
called brown Americans. For a time we were called
Oh,
like that
really?
because we're like Americans only with the brown color. I think
Oh.
in the past
Yeah,
we were even
yeah.
called like
Oh.
that because
Yeah.
we embraced Western culture so much that we were able to assimilate
Right.
right
to the culture even though we're here.
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
one thing strange, right?
Yeah, and it's obvious because the way people criticize our English, we talked about that, and your accent and the way you speak, your slang in
Right.
English. So they
true.
put you in a higher standards. Like, oh, you can speak English, you should be this or you should be that. You must be this. It's all because of the Western culture.
True. We can talk about that
But
too.
it's
Yeah,
funny.
that's
It's
awesome.
funny how those people during the when we were colonized by the U.S.
Mhm.
like God, how they speak English so good. I mean, like I was watching this film for Imelda Marcos, and I was like, oh my God, even the regular, citizens,
Yeah,
they
come
speak
on,
so
yes,
good. It's
Yeah,
like,
true,
oh my
yeah.
God,
true.
that was just like a bystander,
Yeah.
and then he speaks really good, better than I can.
Better than I do.
This is
So surprised.
this is
And their grammar,
this is
everything
might
is
be
just, oh,
this might be uncommon. This might not be popular. I much rather have us, and I know the whole dilemma of the Spaniards conquering us, colonizing us for 300 years, but I much rather have that when the common Filipino can speak Spanish fluently than the English fluently. Like our Filipinos can speak
Oh, God, the
Spanish.
Spanish.
Is that a hot take?
It might be a hot take. That might be a hot take. Yeah,
my-
that's a very.
You know, sometimes
said
I would
hot,
wish
it was like,
I
that's
was
very hot.
one of those people who experienced the, the
I take-
Spanish era and the U.S. era.
I would
just
want to speak
because
Spanish
I
too. It sounds
envy the-
cool, like
Right, and it's sexy.
Como se llama?
It's-
Ganyan.
So sexy.
I've been saying this. It sounds sexy,
Yeah.
especially when you change their names.
Yeah.
Like you went from Robert to Roberto.
Roberto.
Yes.
How would Waka sound? I'm just curious. How would Waka sound for somebody who speaks Spanish? Would it change?
Oh, Samoans.
Oh, in my
No, I mean,
language?
if somebody
Right,
Spanish
say
speaking would say
something.
Waka, I mean, how would it change?
I wouldn't know how would they pronounce
Yeah, I
it.
don't know.
Maybe they would add aito to it, like Waka.
Waka. Yeah, waka.
Waka?
like,
I know how Japanese would sound like when they say waka. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, Japanese Waka-san.
Yeah,
Because-
Waka-san.
yeah,
Waka-san.
yeah,
Well, because his name is from the game Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so Waka is just my nickname.
Mm-hmm.
My real name, I don't know if I want to throw it out there. Why not? I don't
Yeah.
care. My real name is Leroy. It's a very black name. Leroy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Leroy.
God, I love Leroy Sanchez.
Yeah. Leroy.
I love the
Leroy.
name Leroy.
It sounds
Yeah.
tough.
Cool.
It
One
sounds
of
tough.
my-
I mean, so
one
is
of
Waka.
my celebrity crushes is Leroy Sanchez.
I don't even know who that
Singer.
is.
He's a singer. He's a
Singer. Okay.
Yeah.
But Leroy is a
Yeah.
cool name. Like
The one
Leroy.
who Despacito.
Hold on, are you sure
Oh,
you're not?
really?
Are you sure you're not 15? You just don't know your references. We feel too old with your references. Like what? I know Leroy Jenkins, not Leroy Sanchez. Yeah.
And when I told them my real name when I was in PH, they would say like the song Leroy Leroy Cinta or something
Oh,
like
Leroy Sinta.
Leroy Sinta.
Leroy Sinta. Man, Filipinos love to bully foreigners, like for sure.
Yeah, but out of love, perhaps.
Oh, yeah,
out of
yeah,
love and
yeah.
curiosity.
Yeah,
not
no,
out of
yeah.
hate and.
Absolutely, yeah. We had that whole podcast too, and how
that. Yeah, we did.
how because here in America people are so sensitive in the whole racism thing, right?
course.
And I tell them
Yes.
just go to the Philippines. Like if you're black, they will like make fun of you, but out of love, because we want you to belong. You know, once they make fun of you, you're part of the
Yeah.
the group now. You're
True.
part of the family. Like if you go,
Right.
if they see Chinese people, they squint, and because they're like, oh, we want you to be one of us. Because if you're not, we will just stare at
Yeah.
you or not talk to you at all.
Yeah,
But-
and he made a
True,
point
true.
like the mannerism and the behavior in the PH. It's natural. They don't realize
yeah,
that
yeah.
they're in here or in the U.S. It's considered bully or racism in a sense, but out there, that's just a natural way of having just
It is
laughing.
natural.
Some would call it ignorance, but I beg to disagree. We call it cultural differences.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Very
you know, it's different
Right.
here. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah.
Because we even bully each other. Because we
Yeah,
are
each other.
like, we belong from different.
You need to be made up of certain stuff for you to be a
Right.
Filipino.
She
Like,
said,
come on.
she said, we bully each other. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
say. You bully me all the time. Anyway,
For real.
so Kuya, man, this is our longest podcast. 'Cause
Yes.
this is
For real.
awesome.
This is fun. This was
this
great.
is fun.
Yeah.
We wanna
Let's do it again.
Yes,
Yes.
we'll definitely do it again. We'll schedule. We'll talk more. I guess where can I reach you? Because you said you're gonna deactivate
Oh
your
yeah, I'm
Instagram.
gonna deactivate my Instagram. Just send me your email later, so I would
Okay.
would
Okay.
email you.
Awesome,
Mhm.
awesome.
And then if we're gonna plan for this, then
I
we
wanna
have
see
to
his
find a
Instagram
topic.
before he deactivates it. What?
Oh yeah. I sent it.
You were
in-
curious,
Yeah.
Jed, what made me sad?
No, because I sent
I
it.
want want to know because that would help me decide if I
Oh.
should also do
You need a standard.
No,
You
because
need a basis.
I sent
Yeah,
his
I should
information in
know
our
that.
group chat. So all you have to do is just look at the group chat and all the information that I sent there, and then you
Oh
would
my
know.
goodness.
You would know.
That scared me a bit. All the information. What are you, the FBI?
No. Just the
That's
TikTok
why
and
I told
Instagram.
him
That's
do
it.
not deactivate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually,
all
we
right.
already have
All
to.
right.
Just
So
send me an email. Send me your email so I may email you back,
Yes.
and then let's
Will do.
plan for it. Because
Yeah.
I think if it's going to be for my class, then we have to talk about a particular topic.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yep, we can do
But that
that.
would be interesting because at least they would have a different perspective. Like not anyone from the Philippines, but from elsewhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and we can talk more about that. Yeah, we'll really interested, and because you have like right here right now you have 3 different perspectives when it comes to culture. Actually, 4 different perspectives because I'm Filipino, was born in the Philippines but moved here we've been here for 10 years now. You have a
Yes.
guy who was born here. But lived in the Philippines for 4 years. You have Jed that's in the Philippines
Yeah.
but working for American companies, right? Jed, you have some of those experience, and then you who
That's
travels,
Wow.
precisely-
and then you who travels a lot. So you have like 4 different perspectives when it comes to pop culture.
Perspectives,
So yeah, it
Okay.
will be a
Great.
very interesting. It will be. A
And I
very
think my
interesting
students would love you guys. I think they would love you.
I
We
know.
love
I
you,
know.
so I can imagine about your kids. Yeah, man.
I know they will love me.
Especially Waka.
I know they will love me. So
Yeah, they would love you.
just me. I'm just kidding. No,
But you don't have. But but I was hoping maybe we can use you. Is your account can your account be accessed by everybody, like whoever
Yes.
you would invite?
yeah.
Because I think it would be fun if they can also ask questions, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
my class would
That'd be
also
great.
be.
We can do
Yeah,
that.
it would be great.
Yeah, we can send them the invites.
That's
No,
amazing.
for sure. Where can people find you, Kuya, in the social media world? To promote your account and to know more
to
about
promote you.
the stuff that you do. Because we want to know, we want other people to know that your stuff, what you're given, promoting Filipino restaurants and all that. I want everybody to see it.
Well, for something fun, for something light, and like about travel, art, and literature, they can actually follow me on TikTok. Edward John Padilla on TikTok, and then if they want something educational about art as well, or on a more serious note, then they can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Edward John Padilla on YouTube as well.
All right.
Edward
So,
John
ayan.
Padilla.
So,
I love
ayan.
that you're using your whole name. You don't even have a celebrity name. Like CB is not my real name, but I just use it for like just call me CB.
Sometimes, actually,
Yeah.
I'm regretting it because when you do TikTok, and then you watch live streams, and then people, even though you don't want to watch them, when you scroll, you have no choice but to watch them, and then people will say, "Hi, Edward John Padilla," and these are girls who are showing something.
Oh, they know me now. It's like one of your students, like, oh, Seth, you're watching this too?
Mr. Padilla is here. Like, and it happened. It happened to
Oh,
me.
no.
Oh, really?
Hi, Mr. Padilla, in the chat room, and then the live streamer would say, "And who is Mr. Padilla, by the way?"
Oh.
Dude, let's
And
go.
TikTok can be like TikTok is really not for the serious ones.
Yeah.
Some TikTokers are not really into being serious and being
Mhm.
decent.
Yeah.
I don't want that, but things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I agree.
So ayan.
I agree. I totally agree. So yeah, go follow him, Edward.
John Padilla,
Edward John
TikTok
Padilla,
and on
yeah.
YouTube. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go watch him.
Thank you
His
for,
stuff- his
for
stuff is
promoting
awesome.
my channels.
Yeah.
Yes, his stuff are awesome. And
Well, thank you.
I will. Yeah, I will. We will. I guess we will see you guys again. Thank you guys for doing this. My name is CB.
My name is Waka.
This is Jad.
Yes, in
Like-
behalf of all TMFS, the Maximum Filipino Show, I want to say thank you for being here. Go follow us on our social media account. Just look for the Maximum Filipino Show on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We even have LinkedIn account and YouTube. If you are listening to this podcast and you want to see our faces, you want to see Kuya Edward's face, just go to YouTube and look for the Maximum Filipino Show.
Yeah.
And if you have any suggestions, anything that you guys want us to talk about, just email us at the Maximum Filipino Show, @gmail.com. And yeah, that's it. This is a fun podcast.
was
I
awesome.
hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we'll see you guys again in the next podcast.
All right, viewies.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Joanne.